Doesn't deserve a voice either, so I'm going to pretend that was deliberate as well. GAAS, you're now live and you have audio.
Chat, I'm so sorry, chat. It's all my fault, as always. As always. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, chat? You can? I think they can. I assume they can. I gave Kingthrash the wrong time, so Kingthrash looks slightly different right now, as you can imagine. But thank you so much. Thank you so much. Kingthrash is DMing me because how the hell did you give me the wrong time? I don't know. But we're here, and we've got freaking Carl Eastwood. Shout out, Carl. How you doing, man? Thank you so much for just jumping in just like that, man.
I mean, of course, I owe you for 9 months of making you stay up till 3 a.m. on my show every week. Yeah, so I'll do about 90 of these to make up for it, right?
You don't have to do anything to make up for anything. We're definitely going to get Thrash on later.
Especially after you defecated on me in your video yesterday, right?
I did not defecate on you in a video. Oh, Cole, you're a good sport about it. So a lot of people. So was King David. King David was cool. So the C Money and Doodle. They all took it in the spirit that it's in. So yeah, shout out to you and everyone. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Asa rocking that gaming Arcadia shirt. Damn, looking smart. What you say?
See, I didn't have this, but as you forgot the name of the channel in your little video, I thought I'd best write it on a t-shirt in time for today. Yeah, Gaming Arcadia, fancy YouTube channel with other podcasts and things during the week.
I love that logo too. Looks good.
And yeah, man, that video was filmed months ago. You know it was, because I asked you to make your bit. So yeah, I just pushed it on thinking, oh yeah, hold on. The video that is on our channel, chat, just to explain the future of it. Basically, what it has been for some time now. We've already told you, if you've been listening to this show, that we've been doing just live streams here. So videos from Asa and from me are on our own respective channels. So you got Asa's Gaming Arcadia, do check that out, and subject source for us. But before we do, Culty, talk to us. What you up to, man? What you been saying? How you feeling these days? Not
Crappy, man. Like,
why?
The news has been so depressing. Layoffs and controversy and cancellations, closures and delays. And then I've been on this Assassin's Creed kick. So I finally finished Mirage. So I've been playing Valhalla and Odyssey and messing around with those, like trying to play Banishers, Ghosts of New Eden. So yeah, just kind of chilling and looking at the content creation space. Like, what does everyone want to talk about? Like, what do they want to hear about? What are they excited about? And I think for the most part, people are like, we're just waiting for the games. Yeah. So yeah, there's not a whole lot right now. So it's kind of quiet. Waiting for the sun to come out over here.
Yeah, it does feel like it's a bit kind of grim news. But we had quite a bit happen this week. So hopefully some positive stuff to talk about. And we had the Xbox Partner Showcase, which we'll get into. We also had, well, actually, some somber, sad news was actually the passing away of a legend, Akira Toriyama, who's the creator of Dragon Ball Z. Like, on this very stream, Asa, how many times have I mentioned Dragon Ball Z or Sensu Beans or powering up? It's just part of our culture, man. The time. You always had a go at me for bringing this Dragon Ball up. But Dragon Ball's everything, man. Like, from it's everywhere. When I go to the gym, I see so many people wearing Super Saiyan outfit gear. People who I know from all walks of life who do not watch anime or not in the gaming space, nothing like that. My gym buddy Jude, but he was like sharing on socials, man. Like, for him, it was, and for me, I used to come home, watch Toonami or CNX, whatever it was called back in the day, and watch Dragon Ball Z.
I need to briefly interrupt you because Kingthrash is here He's currently, Kingthrash, if you can hear me, you're currently upside down. I don't know how you've achieved it, but if you can rotate your camera, we'll pull you straight in. There he goes. There he goes. Hold on. Let's get him in.
Shit! It's freaking... What the hell was that? Are you recording my voice? It's Kingthrash in the flesh. Yo, what's happening, KT? I'm so sorry, man. Can you hear me?
Man. Yeah, you can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man. Sorry, I gave you the wrong time.
Man, I'm trying to set shit up, man. I can't even do it. Man, what's cracking though? Why you
good, man.
come late? You wanted to give that reputation that I'm a late guy. Told me I was in the shower, dog. I was over there getting ready. I was spraying myself with PlayStation cologne, and I started setting things up. And I'm over here seeing messages talking about where you at. I'm like, where I'm at? Nigga, it's like 1:30.
My bad, man. I'm sitting here. We're like, where's Kingthrash? And he's like, he's not here yet. I'm like, hold on. What time did I say? Let me check the 9 p.m. GMT to Pacific time. And it was like 1 p.m. I was like, fuck! I gave him the wrong time. So my bad, man. My bad. Thank you for joining in early, man. How you doing, bro?
So, what we doing? How we doing? Where we at in the conversation? In fact, how y'all doing, y'all? What's up, Code? What's up? Forgot your name, but you're the most intelligent guy here.
The intelligent guy. I'm the loudmouth.
This guy is the most level-headed guy here. I'm already knowing, even more than me.
Shout out to that. Yeah, no, we were talking about a bit of a somber note. Akira Toriyama, who passed away, the creator behind Dragon Ball Z, Toriyama, sorry. And he just paying his respects, because that guy was a legend, man. I used to love Dragon Ball Z. Go back home. I will still maintain one of the best anime. Like, I'm not a heavy anime watcher, but I do watch anime. But the Frieza saga was something that I don't think can be toppled for me. And it was crazy to see the whole world almost in unison, like just, pay their respect.
Yeah, it's a sad day for animation, man. I love anime. I grew up on Dragon Ball Z. I think all of us here grew up on Dragon Ball Z. Yeah. Got introduced to a lot of people got introduced to anime through Dragon Ball Z. So yeah, man. It's just sad to hear that go.
Yeah, man. So respects to him, man. I had to give respects to Akira, and he's still relatively young when he passed away. So shout out to him. It's a bit of a somber note, but now let's go to gaming. What have we been playing? I know I've been. Well, King, what have you been playing, man? Like, what have you been playing this week?
Persona 3 is what I've been beating for like the third time. Yeah, I beat it on the PSP. I beat it on the PS3. And now I'm beating it with this remake, man. It's a fantastic game, man. It's a game I can always go back to and play. So I've been playing that, trying my best to beat it as fast as I can, because I got Final Fantasy sitting here. I had Final Fantasy before it even came out. Playing that. Yeah.
How did you get Final Fantasy before it came out?
Yeah. I get most of my games before they come out.
Oh, you get earlier? That's lucky.
Yeah.
Persona 3 is not a small game, man. To play that again is pretty crazy.
It's a great game. It's a great game.
Are you one of those one game at a time? Like
No. That's what I'm trying to stop. That's why I'm like killing myself not playing Final Fantasy 7. I usually play like 4 or 5 games at a time, bro.
Yeah.
I'm one of those. That's a sickness, because it's hard to beat games. I like to beat games, but then I like to play games. And I'm a type of guy who plays depending on how I feel that day. If I feel like shooting something, I'm going to play a shooting game. If I feel like RPG, I'm going to play RPG.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But I've been forcing myself to just sit down and beat this because I got another big RPG to beat.
Yeah, man. But that's just crazy. But I rate you for playing Persona 3 for like the third time, which is mad. And hold yourself off. I'm trying to do one game at a time now. I was just like you, but I just find that you don't get games completed that way. Colt, what have you been playing?
Like I said earlier, like messing around with Assassin's Creed, Banishers, New Eden, Ghosts of New Eden. Yeah, that's what I've been doing, and then doing some multiplayer stuff with friends and kids. It's my kids, so yeah, I've been just kind of hanging out.
Still playing Grounded?
No, we were messing around with Fortnite. There was a 25-minute queue last night, so yeah, I play that one with my kids. But then, Banishers, and then messing around with those Assassin's Creed games.
Oh shit! Yeah, fair enough. What about you, Asa? What have you been playing?
I'm still running around fields in Final Fantasy VII, like 14 hours in, and still running around the same fields, just doing everything. Chadley's Ubisoft Adventure is what I actually call that game most of the time, because it very much turns into a Ubisoft style map, which I would normally hate. And I'm up and down on this one. Sometimes I look at the map and hate it, and then the Final Fantasy VII battle music kicks in, and I'm like, no, everything's forgiven. This is fine. I'm having a good time. And go up and down like that. I've been playing Project Zomboid, like pretty old, pretty strange game on the PC. Not even released yet, but pretty old. It's been in early access for 11 years. So that's entertaining. Helldivers and Forza, Mario Kart, the usual kind of stuff. Loads of things. Loads of games.
No,
Skull and Bones.
Yeah. Skull and Bones.
Really?
A little bit. You know, I didn't like Skull and Bones when I played it very much, but Chris Grenell was saying that he's played it a bit further and he's enjoying himself on it. He's been playing with other people and having a good time, and he convinced me that I should try it a little bit more. I'm still not there with it, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna play that. I've been playing Cyberpunk with Blade Runner soundtrack, like Colt Eastwood suggested, and it's a game changer, man. Just the whole vibe. Music changes so much in a game, and that was just like I got so far into the PC version, played it on the Xbox version. Is very beautiful, very beautiful. And this is echo the same sentiments as you, Colt. When I played Cyberpunk, I realized how much worse Starfield really is, because like he's just like, yo, this we gave it, well, in fairness, it's given a long time. It's had a whole redo. The combat system, skill tree, leveling up system, all of that's been
it's had 2 years of improvements, 2+ years, actually over 3. That's crazy. But
it's so good.
Yeah, Cyberpunk. I love Cyberpunk, man. I haven't tried it with that soundtrack though. Is that a PC thing or what? Like you can just select that.
Just use Spotify in the background while you're playing, because games lately have kind of minimized the soundtrack. Like used to have these big, heavy hitting composers that worked with games like Jesper Kid and like these heavy hitting composers in games. And like it seems like the past several years, they put that soundtrack way in the background, or the music just never hardly comes up. And so I found the past few games I've been making playlists and playing them in the background at like 50% volume or something, and it elevates Cyberpunk. There's a playlist that has the Blade Runner 2049 and the original Blade Runner, where it just bounces between the two, and I was just playing Cyberpunk like that this year and last year. It's awesome.
It's wicked, man. It's really good. It's just a good game as well. Story mode is brilliant, and Keanu Reeves is actually really good at it as himself. But yeah, man. So, but that's the games we've been playing. Now, let me hit these super chats because we've got a lot to get through. So shout out to everyone. Blaze with the $2 super chat goes, don't wait emoji. Yeah, thanks for that. My bad. Spartan6661, thank you, man. He goes, daylight savings time is ridiculous for different countries. I agree. Excalibur, thank you for the $5 super chat. The real reason why Kingthrash couldn't make it is because GAAS had no Jamba Juice. He was infuriated by this information and he left volcanoing.
hey, no bullshit. I was going to buy a Jamba Juice just for this, just to sip on a Jamba Juice. I know it's a lot of y'all who talk that shit about my Jamba Juice comments. My Jamba Juice.
I'll give you my Jamba Juice. I love that. Your voice is what makes you, man. It's so good. Daddy Fashion Official, shout out to you with the $2 super chat. You see, GAAS, even GameOnDaily went multiplat. Yes, we did. We're at that party. Shout out. Everyone is. Shabs, being a member for 29 months. DBZ was my gateway to anime. Rest in peace, Akira Toriyama. # rest in power. Absolutely. And Blaze, thank you, because the PLK pulled up. So he did. But yeah, thank you so much for those. So now, well, what's going on? No, let's just get this out of the way. Deviation Games shut down. Thrash! The house of PlayStation falling down. I know it's not a PlayStation first party studio.
Say, like, what are they gonna do with PlayStation? It sounds like they fucked their money up, is what it sounds like. I mean, what they got to do with Sony? You know, maybe Sony pulled some money out because their game was looking trash. We're not like Xbox. We want good games. We don't want you to just put out Redfall and call it a great game, like Coach said. You know,
oh shit! Cole, what do you think about
PlayStation? Everyone was like, Xbox is buying all these studios to shutter them, and PlayStation's literally shuttered 4 of their studios and just caused a 5th partner to close the door before they even got a game on a screen. Like no trailer, nothing. Yeah, I like how it's all turned. Hey, but it is important to have quality. I was making the same joke as King. Like, would Xbox just go ahead and push this game through and say, hey, an investment's an investment, let it go as it goes? Would they? I have no idea. But this game has never seen the light of day. It won't. So Deviation being closed down, these guys didn't even get to make their own new thing on their own. It's like another big piece of bad news where these developers are supposed to make games so we can play them, and they're not going to be working, and we won't see what they have to make.
I think it's more of a problem with they're trying to find different ways to make money off of us, and there's a lot of risk in that. It's kind of hard. A lot of them want to go service. I guarantee you this game is going to be a service game and, a service shooter. And it's hard to try to keep people retained in that. You got to have some great ideas. They're so lost. They didn't know Helldivers was going to be as successful as it was. If they thought it was going to be successful, they wouldn't have to do all these upgrades for the servers. They wouldn't have just expected 400,000 people to come. Now they got to upgrade it all the way up to what is it, 850 now? Like they just don't. Nobody really has an idea how great a service game is going to be until it hits the public.
Yeah, no, that's the risk with games as service games. Like, and Helldivers is a perfect example for the reasons you mentioned. And that's that high risk, high reward thing. But Sony themselves, like I think generally they went strong on the GAAS pivot, and then they've had to scale back. And now I don't know where would you say, KT, where do you think they are with this GAAS pivot? I hope they're dropping it. I think I said it before. It's the stupidest thing I've seen them try to do. Just go with what you can do. It's too volatile with games as a service, and I hate games as a service. I'm not. I haven't played Foam Stars at all. I ain't booted it up because I'd be damn if I grace my house with people taking baths and fighting each other with foam. I'm not doing it. On top of that, you're gonna try to make it last longer by holding stuff back. What, you gonna give me a bubble cannon? I'm not into games as a service, bro. I never have been, and What about Helldivers? That's how games as a service.
Helldivers is nice. It's sort of games as a service. It's nice, but I like games with endings. I like to have closure in my games. I like to have an arc. I don't want to have to say, I see a tweet, oh, we just, liberated this planet. Here's some robots. Fuck you, bro. Like, put them robots in. Give me something like, I get it, but it's a games as a service game, so they have to do it that way. It's genius as far as games as a service because it keeps you engaged and you unlock things for free if you stay engaged, and I think that's wonderful. Yeah. But the whole thing of games as a service is like, what are we doing? Like, there ain't no damsels in distress. There ain't no nothing. We just fight. We just men and women fighting bugs and robots. So
that's the thing that with Helldivers is really missing, in my opinion. Like, I can do 2 games and then I think, all right, well, what's the point? And I stop. I feel like the template there for a really compelling like story element of it. Colt, you shaking your head. You don't think it would be good for a story?
I mean, you just said something that I got crucified for a month ago.
What did you say? Yeah, what did you say?
I played like 2 to 4 matches of the game, and I was like, and then I played another session with you, and we did like 2 matches. I'm like, just shooting bugs over and over and extracting, coming back. Ooh, a couple more rounds, maybe I can unlock a new helmet. And I was like, I just don't think I'm going to stick with this. And then I got into it again with Jay Fonzarelli and his brothers, and we played like 3 or 4 matches. And at the end of the night, I was like, I kind of wish I was doing something else. Like the shooting's really great, but there's something about, like what King said, like there's no end not like working toward a world. I'm not in a world living and building a character and working towards some kind of closure. I mean, there are service games I like. Like, of course, I'll bounce back to stupid things like Fortnite or other service-based games I play once in a while, but I don't end up loving those games. It's just kind of how I am. But Helldivers is super, super successful. And when I play it, I'm like, it's solid. It feels great. Like the gunplay is really great. And it's having this big month-long plus or probably 2-month-long big flash that it's going to do, which is super great. And PlayStation bringing that game to PC was a huge success factor for them. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think that that platforms should just completely ditch games as a service as an idea, because honestly, the most successful and most popular games in the world are GAAS games. Yeah, and there's no debating that. The problem is, like, people like all of us in this room on this podcast, a lot of people in the chat, that we're like, they ain't our favorite games. Like, our favorite games have like that big story, but also PlayStation, Xbox are saying it's not like really sustainable to make a big blockbuster AAA game that takes us 6 years to make, and then people play it for a month and then they're out, and that sucks.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you a question though. How did you feel about Halo's games as a service? I
didn't like the online stuff. I had friends that loved the multiplayer stuff. I love the campaign, but I don't play the competitive games like that like I used to. So I was like, and I was like, why didn't they just launch with Firefight and Warzone Firefight and all this? And I hate we're just going to piecemeal you along. 343 is super lazy, and I don't like their incompetent approach to they've got one of the biggest franchises in the world, and they're just like, well, it's just kind of, here's a little bit of that. And I basically left the game uninstalled after I finished the first couple months of playing. That's how I feel.
I agree with you there, man. I think they messed up one of their best franchises. I don't know why they took that risk on a franchise that important to the brand. I think they should have did it with something else, but I didn't like how they did it. This is part of the reason why I don't like service games. It's just they ruin games that aren't really made for it or don't have that draw. But I guess because they felt like it was a branded game that people would just flock to it. And
And that, I mean, ultimately that was old 343 and their old leadership. Under the new leadership, immediately off the bat, we've had some really good improvements. I've been playing the games. New content.
I'm sorry, guys. Like the chat's saying, like, I'm crazy because Halo slaps right now. I know it does, but remember, guys, how long it took for Halo to slap again after the launch? Like they like you said, they got rid of the leadership. They brought in season 4 or 5 was like, holy crap. I'm like, you're talking season 4 or 5. You and I sat here on our podcast and said 343 needs to wait. They need to delay this game until it is fully out of the oven. The rear end is shining like a diamond right out of the gate. And they didn't. And us as Halo fans waited for Halo to be polished up and to come into its own. And I've talked to everybody who loves the game who says it's been fantastic over the past couple of years, but I wanted it to be fantastic out of the gate. And it should have been from the get-go and always stayed that way, but it didn't. And so I fell off, but I realize that people do love all the content that's been out the past couple of years. But for me, it didn't do that the first few months or the first year. That's how I felt.
Man. Only the most like loyal, dedicated people will really come back to Halo, and Halo on the PC front hasn't seen a significant number of people coming back to it, because despite the content being there, it's a little bit too late. You lose that momentum and you're going to struggle. So as much as we love it and say, look, they've done a great job, which they have at the content, why are the numbers not going up? Well, it's because you lost the steam. No pun intended. Deviation Games, like Sony, there were some articles, I don't know if you've seen, like they were hedging the bets, like this is the counter to ABK but then for some articles, but this is just another list of another studios getting killed. What's your take on it? Like Deviation Games getting murked.
What can you say? It sucks, doesn't it? The studio, when they were acquired, the head of the studio came out and said, this is great for us, we've just secured like years and years of financial security. So this is why we've done it rather than staying independent. We've got years and years of financial security. Didn't work out at all, did it? Which sucks. And I know Sony have like taken some of the people from that studio, including the founders of it, to put them to work on other games and things. But that doesn't help any of the people that were working on this project that got cancelled and now are not working on anything. So don't know what else you can really say about Deviation Games.
Do you think that this is a signaling of maybe a GAAS focus, Cull, or is it just a wider general thing?
We still don't really know who from Sony was on which side of the fence on that one, who was pushing in which directions and what's happening. They're definitely learning as they go, and they definitely are still doing live service games, and they're not going to look at Helldivers and go, wow, we need to completely ditch live service. But you've also got to remember live service runs a massive gamut of different kinds of games, because Gran Turismo is a live service game, and nobody is complaining. Some people complain that it's got microtransactions in it, but it's a live service game that's got a tail of content and a tail of monetization, and that's a very different type of live service game to a Final Fantasy 14 or a Helldivers. So when Sony say that they're going to do GAAS games, and you said for years you want to see them focus more on multiplayer, and service and monetization is why Microsoft pursued that in the first place and why Sony are pursuing it now. So I don't know. Yeah, they're still going to do some. Hopefully they're still going to keep doing everything. They say they're going to keep doing everything apart from my virtual reality. So
yeah, man. No, honestly, I'm actually more optimistic. Like I've said on the GAAS pivot, I really can. If they put their studios to good use with their core IPs and have a focus, Sony could deliver some incredible titles. And if you look at my Twitter history, I even said before Factions got cancelled, I tweeted, I said Factions from Naughty Dog, a multiplayer only game will be incredible. And well, lo and behold, that died. I still maintain, although Bungie's in a bit of a state of turmoil with internally. What do you think about Kingthrash? Actually, I put that thing in my video. I still to this day don't understand your whole Bungie's a separate studio. They were PlayStation is different from Sony. What were you alluding to there?
No, what I was saying is that Sony owns Bungie, and they didn't put them as part of PlayStation Studios. PlayStation SIE is a different. They kind of not left Sony. They're still part of Sony, but they're their own business, responsible for their own money. Bungie is under Sony. Sony, that's the different type of money with a different type of company. That's why Bungie laid people off in the first place, because they didn't want Sony to take over their business. Because apparently in the contract when they got bought, one of the clauses was, if you guys don't bring that money, we're gonna come and take all them seats. And they don't want Sony to come in and take all them seats. That's what I meant by it. It's not a PlayStation Studios game. It's not under SIE, it's under Sony. And they are independent. Like Bungie is an independent company. They said that right when they got bought. We are still independent. We're responsible for our own money, our own games. We control all of our games. If Sony takes over those seats, that may change. So that's when you'll start seeing things probably going exclusive and stuff like that.
I think it's almost inevitable at this point. I think I will be very surprised if Bungie managed to retain their independence, unless Marathon, from the get-go, smashes it. A huge breakaway success. I think Sony's going to acquire that, just full on. The Borg, merge that company. I think it's going to...
Yeah, if it fails. I mean, Xbox might not be around by the time that come out anyway. So, you know, I'm not even like before y'all even say anything. I'm not console war. The console war is over, bro. It's done. Like that's it's done to me. I'm just saying this is what it looks like. This is what's happening. This is step by step what they've done with other platforms that they let go. They did the same exact thing with cell phones, the same exact thing with Zoom.
You're literally coinciding the Xbox console, but by saying that you're not talking about the console. Like Xbox could probably outgrow the PlayStation as a publishing platform if they continue on in the future. Like they could be leaps and bounds ahead of PlayStation in revenue. If they continue on growing and bringing their games to other people, even if they started selling more than just 4 games on PlayStation consoles, it would help grow the Xbox brand to eventually be really big and an actual competitor to PlayStation. Like the Xbox brand's not going away. It's the third most profitable business within Microsoft right now. Like they're no longer saying, oh, this isn't going to work. What they said was selling to a niche console market is not working. And that's what Hiroki Totoki said. Hiroki Totoki's like, hey guys, what have you been doing while Jim Ryan was giving out custom cookies? Like you were literally trying to sell these $300 million games on one console. You're packing in games from Square only on one console, and now you're below the mark on Final Fantasy, a huge franchise. So you have to think bigger than the plastic box. And that's what I'm trying to tell people, because at the end of the day, for me, I love the console. I've talked about the tech. I've talked about all the cool bells and whistles that come to the console, and I'll play one as much as I want for as long as I can. I'm a Gen Xer. I'll happily leave them behind someday if something is more ubiquitous and way more enjoyable to play. Like if I have the new LG TV in 5 years and it has hardware in it that can play games natively, I will play the heck out of that. So it's about the games. It's about who's going to create the great games that gets everybody rallied around talking about them. Xbox needs to do that, because right now PlayStation has some games where everyone's talking about them. From Software has the games that everyone's talking about. Nintendo has the games that everyone's talking about. Xbox needs to deliver those compelling games on a consistent basis where people are like, you know what, you need to play this. And I don't think they've really done that for the most part over the past 10 years. So you're right. If Xbox wants to continue to stick around and not fade into obscurity like Fable and all those games, they have to be awesome. And everyone has to say, you know what, you have to play this.
What say you, King, on that?
Yeah, let me reply to this. Because I think you guys are giving Microsoft more power than what they actually have. Microsoft doesn't get to pick and choose what games goes on a PlayStation. PlayStation isn't going to allow Microsoft to continue to put games on there, especially big marquee Xbox branded games on a PlayStation, like a Halo. They're not going to do it if there's still an Xbox around. Just like if you don't believe me, look at the games right now that they're allowing on Xbox that are made by Xbox Studios, and I dare you to find me a logo that says Xbox Studios on it. These companies' brands are more important than money. You need to understand that part. Like,
so Microsoft, you're saying PlayStation won't allow those games on?
Yeah, PlayStation won't allow it. PlayStation didn't allow Halo. They tried to put Halo on PlayStation before. PlayStation was like, hell no, you gonna still manufacture Xboxes? Fuck no. Right now, Microsoft is dying down on their manufacturing on their consoles. They're giving you every reason not to buy the console, and then all they're gonna do is they talked about hardware, like, and y'all taking that as consoles. A hardware could be a Surface that you can use to stream and still have your Game Pass library on. It's just PlayStation and Nintendo aren't going to sit there and let Microsoft, their competing platform, make money off of them just cause they're failing. I'm just supposed to help. So y'all gonna bring y'all failure ass games over here just so you can make more money off of us, so you can make more failure ass games.
They've allowed 4 games.
Why did Sony allow the Xbox Game Studios logo to be on Pentiment then? Did they miss that one?
You say that again? Why
did Sony and PlayStation allow Pentiment to have the Xbox Game Studios logo on the Pentiment PlayStation version? Did they just miss that? Like, that was an oversight? They forgot it was on there?
You look that up and it says Microsoft Studios.
So the brand's more important. They just don't want that Xbox word on there?
They don't. Xbox is their competing platform.
You said it says Microsoft Studios when you launched the game. Did you see what it says?
I ain't bought the game to launch it. I know that when you go there and it shows the publisher, the creators of it, they say Microsoft Studios.
Okay.
There's no Xbox logo there. Even in the commercials, bro. There's no Xbox logo there. These companies aren't going to allow, like, you guys take that shit.
Do you think that's that important?
It's just extremely. I've worked for Coca-Cola for years, right? Mm-hmm. Guy got caught, a veteran, 20 years, truck driver, got caught with a Pepsi in his truck, and they fired him on the spots, no question asked. You cannot.
Yeah. I'm not saying branding is not important. Especially the Coca-Cola Pepsi war. Absolutely.
It was Sony, Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo. All of these have brands they've been building for years. Microsoft has the weakest brand in all of gaming. And these other companies aren't going to. This is like saying, like, same thing with Nintendo, Mario, and all of that. Like, Nintendo has allowed Microsoft to put their branding on there. I've seen that. But PlayStation ain't having it. Just like Xbox wanted, like, for Minecraft, they wanted you to have an Xbox Live account. There was some pushback on that. Like, hell no, they're going to do an Xbox Live account.
Apparently,
and so you have to do the MSN account.
I've got proof that it says Xbox Game Studios on Pentiment running on PS5.
Oh, that kind of counters your argument. Though.
Yeah, I mean, PlayStation's not going to kibosh the Xbox logo or the Xbox name. They're going to happily King. They're going to happily take King.
Who they said make the game.
King. PlayStation is going to happily take any game they can get on their platform and make 30% off.
Then why haven't they?
They are. It's just starting. Like Phil just literally just put 4 games in the plans on PS5.
Not just starting. Look at As Dusk Falls. That's a Microsoft-made game, right?
That's an Xbox Global Publishing game from another studio. Yeah.
It's not like MLB.
They're not going to allow. MLB is owned by MLB. It's published by MLB. If you go to the site, if you go to Xbox, you will see that it's published by MLB. I thought y'all Xbox dudes knew about Xbox.
That's PlayStation Studios. I get the PlayStation Studios logo. I have like 700 hours in MLB on Xbox.
Keep up. I said published. Keep up, bro. I said published.
I'm getting a little bit lost here. So
Sony publishes MLB on PlayStation. They do not publish MLB on Xbox. MLB pays Sony to put that game on Xbox. Sony doesn't pay a cent. Yeah. They get royalties and they get paid to make that game.
And it says PlayStation Studios on the splash.
Yeah, because the PlayStation Studio made it. Yes.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. Yeah. And Xbox allows it. Yeah. Anyway, when you said that PlayStation won't allow the Xbox logo, you're wrong.
They're going to pay for they're not pay for their competitors to win. They're not.
Okay. Well,
they don't own MLB. MLB would have left. They would have had EA make MLB then. MLB, anybody can make an MLB game. It's fucking a licensed game. MLB owns it. Sony wants to continue to make it. They restructured their contract and the MLB was like, look, we want it on all platforms. What do we got to do? Sony was like, pay us then. Pay us for the full development of that plus royalties and we'll do it. And you'll have full control over that game on Xbox. And that's why it's on Game Pass. Sony doesn't get any money from the game.
It's crazy. And there's more Xbox guys playing it than PlayStation guys. That's awesome.
Cool.
Thank you.
That's good. Yeah, fantastic. It still didn't save the console. Right? It's been doing it for 2 years. It's saving the console.
But
you ain't setting up on console, making it more attractive. Good job. Good job. You're paying Sony more than your other games. Thanks. I appreciate that. It helps me with my games.
That's crazy that you guys have to pay $70 for it, and I get it for basically.
I'll gladly pay $70 to developers to make games for me. The reason why Xbox is dying now because you guys refuse to pay for games.
Well, but King, we already established that.
$70 for fucking Redfall, and if you don't do it, you got to get it on the service.
You're breaking up there. We already established that Xbox isn't dying, but thank you.
No, but okay, gents, we have trying to reel it in. So the Xbox Game Studio logo does appear on Pentiment.
Absolutely, yeah.
I understand though, kind of the wider.
Okay, I didn't buy it, so I didn't know. Yeah, but I know that when you go in the store and you go to buy it, it doesn't have an Xbox logo. It doesn't have the Xbox Studios. It doesn't have any of that. It just has Microsoft Studios.
But your general point, I do agree with that. The branding is your live code, but it's important. But
it's on there. Yeah, that's fine.
I know it's on there. It's on there.
It's on.
I think that's fundamentally really actually quite important in the long run because when I look at Call of Duty on PlayStation. And it has that Xbox logo, like Kingthrash says, it's so important. So you do concede, King, that if Call of Duty comes out later this year and has the Xbox brand logo in there, that's a bad look for PlayStation that they allowed that to happen?
No, I don't.
How can you say that? You just said that.
You saying is it a bad look to the public?
No. Like you made a case of like Coca-Cola. You said that there's no way they would allow that to happen. It's PlayStation is in the driving seat of not allowing these games.
Call of Duty is an Xbox branded game. I said that earlier. I'm talking about games that resonate with the console, like a Halo, like a Gears. Those games resonate with Xbox, just like Mario, just like fucking Uncharted, The Last of Us. These games
Imagine Gears comes to PlayStation. Sony's
plenty of games that Microsoft own that are on PlayStation and been on PlayStation for years, and nobody sees them as Xbox games. If you see a Halo, they're going to see it as an Xbox game. They're not going to see. They don't see Minecraft as nobody here sees Minecraft as an Xbox game. Nobody.
Okay.
So it's just it's all about these games that are branded and brought up the brand of the fucking platforms. That's what they worry about.
Okay. All right. I take your point. I don't necessarily agree, which is fine, but I agree with the wider point of the ramifications of the branding. Asa, do you think there's any value in such like a splash screen at the start? Do the people care? Do Sony care? And would Sony be hesitant to allow a big game like an Xbox staple game on their platform? We always saw it the other way around.
Yes, and no. Yes, they do care. They'd rather not have Xbox listed as a publisher. Sony have had a say in, like, the reason that it says Microsoft on those things is down to Sony's preference. But no, they're not going to stop any Sony game going across. I don't think they legally could very easily say no to any particular game being published. They'd be in a very precarious anti-compete situation if they did.
Potentially. I'd like to think that they would have like autonomy on there, on what games appear on their own platform. But yeah, anti-compete measures, you could say that you're...
I really don't think they could very easily do that, no. Especially not... They've got their publishing agreements. They're going to have a baseline one that's going to be available to pretty much anyone that wants to publish there, and they're going to have certification requirements and all the rest of it. So long as Microsoft tick the same boxes as every other publisher, I don't think Sony can actually say no in that scenario. But...
Okay. Well,
there's the issue. The only issue I think that Sony really has is that they're manufacturing hardware that competes directly with theirs. Once they stop doing that, it's all good.
Okay. Sounds good. Let me read these super chats. It's good. I like the dissenting, heated opinions on these. This is what.
And Cole, I don't want you to feel any kind of way, man. I talk like this to my mom. So it's like, like don't think I'm attacking. I don't attack people, bro. I love to talk. I'm not saying that you are.
No,
I'm just
fine. It's just
to tell people because some people kind of, they take things the wrong way and shit, bro. Like
Colt's used to that when I was a co-host.
You're not used to me. The fuck?
I don't think you did anything wrong.
I mean, I'm not a console, and I don't wear Xbox merch on my body.
You wear your own merch.
I wear my own merch.
I wear the PlayStation merch because I got Jordans that match these. What the fuck?
I don't really have green apparel.
What matches with lime green? Nothing. PlayStation got nothing matches with lime green.
Yeah.
Ace is wearing a green GameOnDaily t-shirt. His logo's green.
You got a blue shirt on, you fit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you fit. It looks good on you. You know
what I'm saying? Quiet. He's going PlayStation. Why are you repping blue colors? The ops. Cole, what are you doing? Come on, man.
Hey, come on now.
Oh man, let me hit these super chats. That's a joke. We have Woolly Gamer. Thank you, I guess, for the money. He goes, here for do what you do. GAAS, I hate to say it, your vid yesterday was quality. Even all my vids are quality. Oh, and Asa, try not to steer GAAS too much. Asa doesn't steer me. He just injects sense into it. Things. He can't steer the madness. Asa, do you think you steer me?
No, I could mute you entirely. That's about the extent of what I could do. I could take you off of the air entirely, but for some reason I'll let you carry on.
Ace is the most gracious. Yeah.
He is. Pete, shout out to you, man. Thank you for the super chat. Because Asa, please tell us what you're doing on Gaming Arcadia. What are you doing? Oh,
wonderful. Thanks, Pete. I'm doing loads. There's a podcast every Tuesday, the Arcadia Roundtable. That's a multi-platform talk about everything podcast. There's Q&A on a Wednesday where it's just me and it's like a conversation with everyone in the community. There's another podcast on a Thursday, which is an Xbox-focused podcast, not a cheerleading podcast, but a little filter to Xbox news.
And who's your panel? Asa?
On Thursday is Deadly Headley and Gamsley, which is always a good show as well. So the Tuesday is Dark Knight and Chris Grinnell. Thursday is Deadly Headley and Gamsley. We've got community games at the weekends, and we might even have a Nintendo podcast coming soon for something a little bit different.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Nice. I think most Xbox guys are going to end up doing Nintendo or
Yuck.
Cole, I don't know what you're going to do, bro. Hey, Cole, you going to start doing guns and music again, man? Hey, I know you're talented, big dog. I know that's why your name is Cole Eastwood, because it's because of guns and shit. I know.
No, it's because of Snoop. Snoop's where I got my name.
Snoop, really?
Yeah.
Dog?
Yeah, Snoop Eastwood.
Oh, Snoop Eastwood.
Yeah, the old deep cover days. Yep.
I see your gun videos, though, man. Good shit.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, Loki, look, see, most PlayStation fans won't tell you this, right? Because they're too busy in the console war. But you do put quality shit together. You do. The fucking guitar strum and shit. The doom, like, that shit is in my head sometimes. I'm like, fuck, man. I'm playing the game and I hear that fucking strum, right?
Who's playing that video? Yeah,
it's real shit. It's real good put together shit. But you should have used that power that you have to save Xbox, bro. You could have told me something real. Hey, if you think I'm lying, okay, I'll ask you one question then. What the fuck are these tools that you kept talking about? Where are them tools at, bro? Like,
bro, everyone mixes me up with dealer. Like the tools thing was dealers.
Why did you correct them? Why did you let that man tell
we
us
had to have hope. We needed some hope. We needed hope. We needed hope, Kingthrash. We needed something.
I mean, it's a pretty ridiculous whole thing that went on, but he was talking to people that worked on the freaking box. And then the devs are like, we don't like these tools. I think that's I'm kind of making some of that up, but I think the devs just don't really, it's just easier to work with the documentation on the PlayStation dev kit is way better, way easier. And you have to work way harder to get the power out of the Xbox. But I mean, the Xbox still outperforms the PS5 on a bunch of games, but it's just like this whole idea that I did say that you would have 30% more performance once they start combining things like RDNA 2 features and all these other upsampling things. But devs aren't going to do that on multiplats.
Who gave you that number, Cole? You? Did you guess that number? Tell us the truth. Don't lie.
I calculated the number. They said that if you use this, you get a 15% boost. If you use this, it was just calculated up. Like it's a passing statement in a video, and you guys eat it up like little hungry hippos.
Yeah. I mean, because like I said, you have a lot of power in the gaming space, especially when it comes to Xbox. Yeah. So a lot of Xbox fans are going to echo what you say.
Well, the other problem, King,
you could have saved the Xbox, bro. You could have saved it, but
the other problem, King, is that Digital Foundry has pointed out many times that they basically make the PS5 version, and then they just kind of just kick those settings over and make the Xbox version, because the Xbox is more powerful, the Series X, but it's like they're developing for the S and the X, and there's like, just hit the same resolution target, the same settings, quality target as PS5, and then that's why you get games that are like, well, they all run at 1400p or 1700p or some weird number, or upscaled from 1080p. They all run the same across the PS5 and Series X. It's just been a big mess. It's one of the reasons why I've kind of gone away from the tech, because whether you're a big PlayStation fan or an Xbox fan, these consoles are not doing what they said they would. They absolutely aren't on multiplats. And so we're getting games come out and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm like playing Banishers. I haven't even looked at the analysis. I'm sure it's like close to 1080p in performance mode. And it looks a little junky sometimes. This sucks. Hasn't been fun.
Yeah, it does. It was fun talking it up on the lead up. It's like especially Xbox, they have the most fun on the lead up, bro. All the specs they talk about, all the games they talk about.
It's exciting.
When they come out, it'd be like, God damn, look at that. Did you see the vampires in Redfall? They were hovering. My God.
It's so true.
When they said that was going to be 30 frames, I was like, I could do the surprise face right now. I couldn't believe it. Because
I can't believe it. That's what I knew. Like,
it looks like an Xbox One game. Yeah, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, it just killed me.
But you're right.
Speaking of that, hey, I don't know if you told everybody yet, bro. My bad. GAAS, bro. I know I'm talking too much, but
it's cool.
Because I got questions, man. We got.
I love the banter, man.
Right now. What text did you get that made you make that face? Because the action that you got from Xbox wasn't that face level of surprisingness, my nigga. Like, what text did you get?
You didn't follow? Like, you didn't watch the show, or did you just watch the 4-second clip?
I didn't get to watch
the whole show. Mag and I were talking about how the rumor was that all first-party games would be yanked going forward from Game Pass, or they would add an expensive tier where if you wanted Fable and you wanted Avowed and Perfect Dark, that you'd have to pay either extra or they wouldn't come to Game Pass at all. The other thing was that they're ready to put Starfield out this summer for PS5, and Indiana Jones is going to launch multiplat and everything like that. That was, and then the reality was Phil saying it's just 4 games, and we still haven't heard anything about the bigger games. And then Phil said games from Activision Blizzard will all come to Game Pass, just like our first party games. Like, that was what the tweet was about. And it was funny because I was doing the show, it was like 3 hours in, and the text I got from someone was sitting on my phone for 3 hours. Like, I literally got it there and started the show and never saw it. And I was looking at my phone while my buddy Red was talking. It's funny because I leaned into the joke because people are so dumb. They didn't understand like the reference that he was talking. He was like, yeah, he's like, blah, blah, blah. On this game I play, blah, blah, blah. He's kind of boring me. And I look and it says, don't believe everything you read. Next week will be better. And I went, and I waited for Red to catch it because we're on a camera show. And I go, and I started blinking my eyes and he's like, what, Colt, what are you doing? And then we had a laugh. And then that's the whole meme.
I mean, to be honest, though, you were vindicated, and when you did say that, like, you were fine. But ultimately, for me, it's still the L was being delivered because I don't for 1 second believe Phil Spencer saying that. I don't believe
when he says just 4 games on your video yesterday. When you highlighted Phil saying it's just 4 games, even though I've heard it like 9 times, I'll sit there going,
yeah. So none of y'all believe Phil then. None of y'all believe Phil is going to bring forth.
Not at all. No. Not for 1 minute. And the disgraceful thing is, like, when you ask him for specific reasons, and then it goes into the cycle of the PR statement, I don't feel no way, shape, or form, and I keep warning people not to fall for this. That for me was I mean, I've been annoyed at his statements for a while, but that just broke the camel's. But the straw that broke the camel's back, I was just like, shut up! Now you're not even dressing this up well. So for me, that was a done deal.
Well, can any of y'all answer me this as somebody who doesn't really know, right? Y'all perspective. Do you have any idea as to why they're doing this?
They're losing like you said, man. On the console war, they're losing they absolutely are.
I don't think it's because of the console.
Bro, if they were selling the consoles, do you think this would happen? I don't. No chance. What are they doing? Why do you think they're doing this?
I think it's kind of similar as what PlayStation's doing. That yes, you're right. They're not selling enough consoles, so they don't have enough sales on console for their games, but they're also on PC. So like just with PC, you should be able to do well enough, but they're still not. I think it's a last ditch effort that they're like, Xbox console and PC's not enough because PlayStation's saying right now their console's not enough, and they're going to release games on PC. They already have like 15 games on Steam already, and they just started this. Like in 2020 or 21. So I think they're trying to just make their money back on their games. And I think what you're seeing, I want to hear from Asa on this, so it doesn't sound like we're just kind of like speculating as much as possible.
I was speculating.
But I want Asa to take it right after this. I think the industry as a whole is having a hard time making back the money on most of the games that come out on the market that they have to go with. Asa, that's your cue.
I don't want to take this one. Yeah, it is, right? The reason that they're doing it is they want some money. I don't know. It doesn't get much more simple than that. There are people with PlayStations that will buy some of these games. Microsoft will get money out of it. I've said for a while, the one thing that I do think is true, and I'm not saying that Phil Spencer always lies, but one thing that was definitely true is going into all of the ABK and ZeniMax stuff, he always said that PlayStation is not really their competition. They're looking at the bigger picture, the Amazon, the Google, the Apples, and all that kind of thing. And that was true. PlayStation is not really their competition. It doesn't do them any harm to see PlayStation be successful. I know you care about your console war stuff and how they do in that space, but for Microsoft, it is much bigger and broader than that. And all the money is not in consoles. Consoles are not particularly growing. We need growth to sustain spiraling budgets. Like Phil said, their choices are either you get a bigger audience or you charge the audience that you've got more money through manipulative practices. 30 quid 3-day early access is a manipulative practice, things like that. All right, things that they are already doing, but he doesn't want to push it too far because at some point people might notice. Yeah.
Well said.
Stop laughing, guys.
It's so true. It's some of the carrot and the stick.
Would it be safe to say that Microsoft going day and date on PC didn't help at all then? I mean, why do they need money? Like, are they not making money on their games? And they need to be on more platforms to make money? Are they losing money, or what's like?
Everybody's losing money.
Well, they are, but not everybody is day and date on PC. And I hear a lot of people saying that Sony needs to go day and date on PC, but we have an example about how much that doesn't really help, unless it's Game Pass that's sucking all the money out of it.
Good question though.
Yeah.
I have an answer to that, but
I'm here with y'all. You know what I'm saying?
No. You have valid questions, and these are the answers to which I don't profess to. We don't profess to know, but it's a bit of what Asa said about Microsoft looking beyond the console space, because that even this week we had Sean Layden say that if you look at any generation in totality of the consoles, the peak is at 220 million in sales, and that's all the audience. And it always hits that peak, and they're desperately looking forward. And you've got Hiroki Totoki saying the same thing. As far as Microsoft's concerned, though, I think it's poor sales of their IPs. They'll be under masses of pressure. Now, I'm not going to say, because I don't believe Game Pass is the reason why. I don't think that's the case at all. I don't have this very hard black and white view on, the cost of bringing these games in is so high, you're not going to claw your money back. I think they're enticing people into an environment, and that's what Game Pass is an inducement to getting into this Xbox environment that, may have not aged well when Sarah Bond a few years ago was what I don't think she was lying when she said we've had trends where people who are Game Pass subscribers end up spending more within the ecosystem. I think that's true, but I just think you cannot downplay console sales. Console sales are so important, and the Xbox guys have for ages downplayed the space, and they've used Game Pass as a substitute, but it's not. Most of the Game Pass subs come from Xbox, the console. Yes, PC seeing a growth, a very high one, but is it still that high? Out of the 30 million, how many Game Pass subs are on PC? Most of them, 80, 90%, will be on Xbox. And Xbox in the hardware space is
7 or 9 million are on PC out of the 25 million. I don't even know what the number is that are actually paying for Game Pass. They threw Core in there, which is pathetic.
Yeah.
It's a pathetic number to show.
I don't think it's Game Pass, but I think it's the console struggling to sell, and the brand identity is tied to the console, in my opinion, and they're just looking to squeeze as much as they can. So, and this will lead to another topic where we've got Peter Moore talking about what's Xbox's place in this space in the future. So
it doesn't matter.
We'll talk about that. We'll definitely talk about that, and it'll be a very interesting conversation there. Especially divergent opinions on that one will be very interesting. Back to the super, just quickly to get into the super chats, and thank you everyone for donating generously. Can't talk because I gotta hear my voice back, and these headphones are really loud. My voice. We've got Richie Torres.
You have to hear yourself, and we have to hear you.
I know it's a nightmare for me as well. Trust me. Where we got? Sorry, yeah, we got Richie Torres MMA. Thank you. KT is wrong. Xbox Live was built on the supposition that a Halo will be played online for years. No Halo, no Xbox Live. I don't know which of your comments he's referring to there.
And he said that comment followed it. That's craziness. But okay.
Richie, I don't follow what you were saying there. Sorry, I know.
You need Xbox Live for Call of Duty. You telling me that? You got it. You got it. You're right. Go ahead.
I'm not following the government, to be honest, because we've advanced further. Richie, sorry, I did a disservice to your super chat there. Excalibur, thank you for the $10 super chat. He goes, imagine buying a third-party developer who will release their games on every platform and say to yourself, great deal. That Bungie purchase is more stupid than their lack of first-party exclusives. What do you say to that, King?
Wait, you saying Sony has a lack of first-party exclusives? So I assume he's an Xbox guy.
Yes.
We're going to pretend.
Is that what he said at the last part of that?
Say again?
Yeah, I don't think he said that, but
sorry, he said the Bungie purchase is more stupid than their lack of first-party exclusives.
Oh, he did.
He did say that.
Lack of first-party exclusives. Who has more? And then on top of that, The Bungie purchase was stupid, and I said that from jump. It's unnecessary. You're buying, and same thing with Activision, same thing with Bethesda. You're buying something that was coming to your platform already. If you wanted to put it on Game Pass or any service, you could just pay them to do that and paid a lot less. I think that buying Bungie didn't really do shit for their business. I guess they wanted the knowledge, but I don't.
Yeah, they wanted the consultancy.
They wanted to spend $3 billion for knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just pulling one of them to the side, buying them some fucking hamburgers or fucking.
And then they told him to cancel Factions, which is a nice kick in the groin.
Yeah, I mean, they were already a dying. I mean, Bungie has always been a bad business company. They've been bad at business from jump. They got bought by Microsoft because they fucked up Myst and shit like that. They got out of that, and then they were with, 2 or 3 other publishers before they got with PlayStation. They've been fucking up with their money. They need to bring me up in there. I'll fix their money. I'll just start slapping people around and tell them to do their fucking job. I don't care if your wife is fucking at home cheating. You didn't get hired for your life, bro. Like of course it was. I think the acquisition war itself is just dumb. I think that it's unnecessary, especially if you're not saving a company. Like those earlier purchases that Microsoft made with Ninja Theory and all that, those companies were already going under. He saved those companies, and we wouldn't be getting these games without these companies. So I like that. I would agree with that 100%. But Sony buying Bungie, that shit was stupid. I mean, they were okay with their fucked up ass games. I just don't think that they, I don't think they should have bought them. Buy Konami. Let's get those games back on. Let's get Bloody War back. Let's get Metal Gear back on.
Damn. Yeah.
I mean, hey, I know my games. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's just make good purchases. Make better purchases than this. Save the things that need to be saved for gaming. Don't buy a company, expect me to be happy to get the same exact games that I would have got if you didn't buy them. So
you might actually see some reprieve with the Bungie when Sony does assimilate them. I did say this on our last show. I actually think it would be good for... I've always said Destiny or whatever from Bungie should be exclusive going forward. And I think that might actually happen when Hiroki Totoki's he's not taking any prisoners. He made it very clear. We want to see more accountability. And that's the kind of shit I would love for
that's what I like.
Microsoft to have.
What about the part of that comment, King, where he says that PlayStation doesn't have any first-party exclusives for 18 months after Spider-Man 2?
That's
and go.
He doesn't have he doesn't have any first-party exclusives since when?
PlayStation won't have any first-party exclusives for almost 18 months after Spider-Man 2 launched. That's like the big argument I got in with Mighty Keith, where he was like, there was that report that PlayStation didn't have any big games till early 2025. And I think they have an Astrobot game coming at the end of the year, but their first-party studios, outside of the published stuff, like they're publishing Helldivers, awesome. Hellblade's Stellar Blade's going to be big, and that's being published. But their first-party studios, they're like Sony Santa Monica, Naughty Dog, Sucker Punch, we don't think they have anything coming for an 18-month period.
We don't, though.
Hold on. Doesn't Sony have... Let me check my notes. Don't they own Concord? Ain't that slated to come out this year?
Well, I mean, I guess, they have Concord. Concord's from a smaller studio.
That whole argument up right there then, right?
Do you think Concord's coming out this year, King?
They said it's coming out 2024.
Yeah, we haven't seen it yet. I think maybe they could do a state of play and launch it this year. Maybe.
Yeah,
I just don't know how big. I would say I don't know how big Concord is going to be, but in this current market, saying a game has to be big is ridiculous, or that it has to be AAA. Right. AAA games have not been doing very well lately. I'm actually cheering for the AA stuff.
It don't matter. It's the first party game. It don't matter. The argument is Sony isn't going to have any first party games. I just gave you a first party game. That's it.
Concord might not be the one, or it could be a Helldivers. Who knows? But
Helldivers is a sort of a second party. So I was going to let that slide. I thought about that, but they had a third party company.
I'm saying in terms of success, if Concord does Helldiver numbers, that could be seen as success. Right now, it's a small game from a small studio. Sorry, but who knows? But in that, in terms of that list war, PlayStation is looking weak this year. But you cannot deny you had Helldivers did really well. You've had Final Fantasy VII, and I'm not talking about sales in terms of a quality game. They're all well. They're all really good. And Stellar Blade looks like, and we'll talk about that in a bit. looks great. So
Great.
the money hatting
Great.
or whatever.
Wait, hold on. Did you just say great? Did you see them titties? You talking about me? You talking about what? That is fantastic. My bad. He over here like, I'm gonna be quiet. My bad. Go ahead.
No, I love it, bro. I didn't see that shit. Hey, listen, you're talking to me. Some moron, an absolute freaking single-digit IQ twat, took one clip of what I said about this whole Sweet Baby Inc. and took completely out of context. I was actually repping Sweet Baby Stellar Blade so much. I said, look, it's nice to see some not Western devs, but a dev being able to get away with showing that ass. And that was the thing. And I said Fable was the thing I was comparing it with. And they thought it was just Spider-Man. I'm like, yo, I could clip that and share that and kill that narrative, but I just wanted to grab some receipts from people who were actually mouthing off a bit too much about that, which I have a plan for. But yeah, Stellar Blade looks great. Amazing. Before you cost me for that. It does though. Okay, so we've got Danny. I almost timed you out there by mistake. Thank you for the super chat. This guy is representing his name. Tash talking trash. Chat. Chill. That was No.
Don't tell them to chill. I like for people to have freedom to say what they believe is on their mind. I've been getting called trash forever. My last name really is Thrash. So, I mean, even in junior high, I was getting letters from bitches that dear trash. You know what I'm saying? Cambodian bitches was like, dear Saram. That's how you say trash in your fucking language, bro. Like, I was getting bitches off the last name trash. So fuck it.
They're sending you certified mail. Sir, can you sign for this?
No. Like in junior high, out here in Long Beach in junior high, they had a little program to where like you can send each other fucking messages with like candy and shit, bro. I was getting all types of candy from bitches.
Oh my gosh,
bro, I love you, man. Oh shit, Richie Torres, thank you, man. Because I'm not console warring. Continues to console war. I mean, these are conversations. Like you could say, Richie, I'm always console warring because that's the discourse that we.
There's nothing you can say that doesn't sound like console war unless you're Asa.
That's the new. I don't believe we can talk about Xbox and PlayStation and have disagreements and agreements. It doesn't make it console war. Console war is between two companies, not gamers talking about gaming. I am so sick of hearing people talking about that, bro. Like we've been talking like this for years, decades.
I know, man.
People were born even, and it's like nobody thought console war. If I don't like Halo, I don't like Halo. If I don't like Helldivers, It doesn't make it a console war thing. It's just an opinion that I have, that Colt has, Asa, all y'all have.
I mean, what do you call it when people argue over sports teams? Like they don't have like this negative word that makes you sound like you're 2 years old.
Thing is, though, exactly. Look, King, me and you have been battling for over 15 years on N4G of all places.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, we're OGs in this. We've been for over 10, 15 years. We've been talking and going back and forth with each other. Yes, call it console warring, but we actually have genuine opinions. So if we have dissenting opinions, that's the conversation we're going to have. At least it's sincere. At least it's sincere. Like some of these people don't console war. Yeah. That's what I love about it.
I hate that.
Bro,
I hate fanboy too. I hate fanboy too. I've been a fanboy of every platform. It just depends on what I say.
Yeah.
If I say something nice about Nintendo, you're a Nintendo fanboy. Nice about Xbox, I'm an Xbox fan. But it's just so stupid, bro. Like, how about I just have an opinion about shit that you disagree with? It's okay to disagree. You know?
I just play with the labels.
King makes a good point.
Call console warring, call me an Xbox, fine. I adopt the terminology. Yeah. People use it as a term as derision. Like, call me an Xbox. If Xbox means someone who like argues in favor of Xbox and Xbox games, then okay, that's what I am. I don't care. Like, so what?
Yeah, King makes another good point that if you like PlayStation and you talk about it a lot, you're a PlayStation fanboy. Like, even if you're not even arguing, or if you... Yeah, it's like that's the dissenting opinion.
Call me whatever you want.
Always,
I don't care about the labels. I think it's who cares. Like, okay,
we do have our memes in their back pocket though.
Yeah.
course. I've surprisingly never been called a titty fanboy, even though I talk about them in video games. I've never been called that. Like, call me that. I'll accept it.
I'm not familiar with those.
I gotta be a pony. Crazy.
Yeah, you are. You're friends with Rand. Shout out Rand. Noob Saber,
We know Rand doesn't watch the show.
He does. Please tell me you do. Noob Saber, shout out to you, man. He goes, why all the aggression about an entertainment box? I can feel your blood pressure rising. Take a breath. I don't know who that's addressed to, but it's not aggression. It's passion. Like console passion guy would say when he was doing the surgery. I just leaked his details to the world from his patient. Fuzzy Logic, thank you for the $5 super chat. The console is fine. You'll see PlayStation console sales drop when everyone realizes they can play every Sony game on PC.
Is that what happened to Xbox? Or I'm sorry, keep going. Keep reading, bro.
That's a good response. Huggy, shout out to you. Shout out to Huggy, man, and being for member for 32 months, man. Shout out to you. Because active publisher, the active publisher agreement with Sony is Microsoft. That's all. Sony won't decide games on. Sony won't decide the games Xbox publishes on PlayStation. Quite strange and pointless.
Yeah, they will. They are.
Okay.
Not even they will. They are.
Okay.
There's no other. My bad. Go ahead, bro. Because
I know we had the argument. I'm just trying to move forward. That's all good. Celzito, thank you for the $2 super chat. Goes, fire show. Colt Beastwood is eating here, and Beastwood, that's a sick name. And Fonz, shout out to you. Goes, Gaz, I love you, bro. Do you really? Do you really, Fonz?
He does. I was talking to him earlier. He loves you, bro.
Can you still show it? Rambling Entertained with the $5 super chat. Hey Trash, prove you can walk on gas, fart and walk around the room. If you float, the internet will apologize to you.
Can I say something to that real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
Well, you don't know anything about astrophysics, first of all. Second of all, I never said walk on anything. That is something that y'all made up to try to make it seem like I was wrong about the thing that I said. Never said anything about walking on gas giants or nothing. I said that exploration was a lie because it was. Todd Howard said you can go to all these planets in this solar system, but then there are planets that you cannot go to. And exploration does not mean land on. What are you landing underwater when you explore the seas, nigga? Are you landing in space when you explore space, dummy? Like, I can't help that your English is fucked up. Get your English right and learn some shit, and then come back to me when you are educated enough to have a conversation with me. But I never said land on anything. Stupid.
I will say, King, there's one bit of information that I knew of after the fact, is that there were actually ice planets that you can't land on as well. So there's your ammo to you. So
I mean, like I said, I was gonna get into some astrophysics shit, but I'll bore y'all. Like I can really do that. Y'all don't know my past, bro. Like real shit. So it's like it's just funny that people brought up that. It was just funny that they brought that up. I'm like, you wouldn't last 5 minutes in here with me. You wouldn't last 5 minutes.
What would you do in a gas planet though if you landed or it flew inside of it?
Inside of in a video game?
Yeah.
Anything you fucking want. It's a video game. Like you can't call Starfield a game that's based on like what can happen in reality when they can fold space and do light speed, but at the same time have spaceships with propulsion engines in them. If you can control space, if you can control gravity at 100%, like you would have to do to be able to fold space, you wouldn't need a propulsion system, right? But no, we don't want to talk. Like I said, we don't want to get deep into that. But what I would do, I would love to see a fucking space fight in the middle of a fucking gas giant with fucking lightning bolts and shit flying everywhere. Fucking, it would be the amount.
I don't think you could see in front of your face, and if you were a gas giant.
Look at Star Citizen. Look at Star Citizen.
You can see in front of your face on a gas giant. That PC game that Star Citizen. Star Citizen. You can go and you can actually land on a city on a gas giant. Same thing with Mass Effect. You go to a gas giant as well. Like
Starfield has
you're going on what would happen in real life. You can't see. Okay, but you're playing.
Apparently, No Man's Sky doesn't even have gas giants in the game at all.
Which is
that's weird.
Mass Effect?
No Man's Sky doesn't even have them. No Man's Sky is awesome. But,
No Man's Sky should have them. They had a glitched planet that I thought was a gas planet, but it was glitched and shit. But they should have gas. I mean, it's video games, bro. We got a game called Star Fox where there's a fucking frog, a fucking fox, a fucking rabbit flying on the surface of the fucking sun. Do you hear me? They're on the surface of the sun blowing shit up. And that shit was awesome. Why are we removing awesomeness from gaming to sit there and try to make a bullshit point? It would be awesome if you can go to a gas giant in Starfield and have a fucking firefight, whatever kind of ingenious thought they can come up with. I don't understand why we don't hold Todd Howard accountable for overlooking something that would be so great. Instead, he made a grip of planets with rocks and desert and ugly ass chicks with fucked up people. That's what they made. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. Like, fuck, bro. Like, I want games to be as good as they for my money.
Kingthrash didn't see my female character in Starfield.
He says you didn't see his female character in Starfield. Yeah, she had ass.
Oh, was she a he, she, or what? Was it him, her?
No, it looked decent. It looked decent enough.
Copies.
Send it to Kingthrash after the show. Let him pass judgment on.
Yeah.
Do they have a cheek gauge, like where you can like make her booty big and all that? Like,
yeah, you just kind of. Yeah.
Oh, that's already good. I'm gonna give Starfield an extra point if they have a
pre-ordered.
No, but I did use that, weaponize that quite hilariously. It's only because the articles got made, but I think there was a bit of well, it was just fun. But I didn't like the way the media came out at you, which is the reason why I DM'd you, if I remember correctly. I said, yo, man, just this will pass, because I just felt like it was overblown like fuck. But you
didn't bother
you
me,
made
like I told you.
stuff. Yeah.
That kind of stuff doesn't bother me. No, I'm not a soft. I love for people to give their opinions. I would just love for them to sit and tell me where I said land on any gas giant. I just want to see where I said that at. You know, and
you don't expressly say that, no. And then you've got Mr. Eldrick who goes, Gaz, did you know?
I even showed proof of what I was actually referencing to break it down for the kindergartners. And of course, nobody want to say nothing about that, where Todd Howard literally says you can go to these planets. And that gas giant was one of those planets. So don't tell me I can go somewhere and then at the same time tell me that I can't. It just is what it is.
Yeah. No, and Mr. Eldrick goes, Gaz, did you know gas giants are not solid? So it's like, everyone's playing into the meme.
Fuck. That's what bothers me too. How do you... Humans don't know shit outside our fucking solar, not even our fucking past the moon. We don't even understand the moon. Our moon doesn't.
A gas giant has so much atmospheric pressure that once you got into the gas giant, you'd be crushed into a million pieces. While there's like 7,000 mile per hour wind gusts with helium and all the other gases that are swirling around in those planets.
Sure, but all of that is theory. That's what y'all don't understand.
You can land on Venus in the game, and Venus would crush you immediately.
All theory.
Yeah, it's all video game stuff. Landing on a gas giant's not what would have made Starfield better.
Humans aren't.
It was a butt slider.
People think we are, bro. We don't know shit about what's underwater. We don't know shit about what we can only do in physics.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I get you.
That's what made Einstein.
Yeah.
I'm not smart, but famous, because his theory was right about gravity bending light. That's what made him a celebrity. So it's just, like I said, bro, like, I don't know, man. People just don't know what they be talking about sometimes, man. We don't know what's going on at fucking...
in our oceans, let alone space, man. We don't
even know what's going on with the console performance right now.
The only thing that we do know is that Xbox is bringing their games to PlayStation. Thank you very much, Phil Spencer. That's it.
Did you see what Holly Molly said?
What did he say?
Neil deGrasse Tyson over here.
Hey, that's a compliment.
Dude, he's amazing. He's the best.
That's a compliment, bro. Like, that's not about me at all. I love Neil. Neil is fantastic. I watch a lot of his videos.
But he spouts a lot of bollocks as well. But we're not going to talk about that.
All of it is fucking.
It is. This is why I want. We can talk about this for a while.
Theory. It's just that, from what we can understand, that's why they don't want to believe in UFOs.
Space booty.
Because it'll throw everything we believe in physics out the window.
Yeah,
if people believe in UFOs, we have to change what we think physics is.
Exactly.
To change all the physics.
So you just had like massive, like complete U-turn where Einstein was proven wrong about in quantum physics and like the universe is determinative. Anyway, what the fuck am I doing? This is a gaming show.
I'll fuck around the board, y'all. Go ahead.
This is the crap this is the crap that GAAS and I watch like on YouTube like late at night. I was like, dude, I watch these videos. He's like, I do too. We watch all this stuff about bending time and space.
Together, you say.
Yeah.
Not together. That sounded weird. Why did you say it like that? Like we always
and I'm like, scoot over. You're making me all hot.
Like I'm breastfeeding you at the same time watching fucking Neil deGrasse Tyson watching some shit together. For fuck's sake. Champagne Supernova with a $2 super chat. Fun fact, the best PlayStation Studios nixes #day and date. Champagne. Huggy with a $5 super chat. Man, that PlayStation first party exclusive Firewall Ultra was so awesome. It's weird how Sony fans don't talk about that game. King, anything? It was trash.
It was trash. We're not Xbox guys. We're not going to talk and pretend that bad games are good. We sat there and watched talk about Redfall, talk about Starfield, talk about Halo. We fucking, I don't even want to talk about Forza because y'all know how bad that was. But we watch you guys talk about.
That's a bitter pill.
Some dudes ain't gonna talk about the crash game.
It's a good
why are you talking about it? Because it's fucking garbage. What else? What the fuck you want to say about it? I understand it. That's what happened.
Yeah, fair enough. Champagne with the $2 super chat. Ace is right. VR has hurt gaming more than it's helped it. Thank you. I agree with that, Champagne.
Wait, is that how I read that wrong? I read it. Asa hurt VR gaming more than VR gaming.
He's taking the piss.
I've suffered enough. Leave my VR gaming alone.
Years of lurking with the $2 super chat. It's not only about making money, it's about growth. Yeah.
Growth is making money. You know what? Go ahead. Y'all got it, bro.
Yeah. I get that. I get that. Brieris with a $20 super chat. Thank you, man, and very generous. He goes, GAAS, I get what you're saying, and I believe as well that they will put more games on PlayStation. The thing is, I just hope that the important exclusives that made Xbox thrive don't go to other consoles. And what does that mean? What the distinction of what's an important game? Is it like the Halo, Gears, Forza? What about games that I might think that's important, like Blade? Will that remain the same? Like
Hi-Fi Rush.
Hi-Fi Rush. Hi-Fi Rush was the one game that was the Game of the Year contender. That small budget, whatnot. So what? It was still the game that Xbox community heralded. We finally got a mascot. You said, remember? The mascot's now on PlayStation, and Xbox. With Indiana Jones, do you think that's a big game? But Indiana Jones was the one, and so was Blade more than Indiana Jones. But the first time in a very long time, I saw the masses in my video. You saw their reactions of the mass market saying, "Oh, I want it on my PlayStation." Is this? They finally understood that Xbox actually existed at that point. They're like, I don't get to play it because it's not on PlayStation. That's how insignificant Xbox is in the console space compared to PlayStation. So it's like. This is the thing that's frustrating for me as an Xbox fan, but I understand where you're coming from. I have no faith in Microsoft doing anything remotely close to what I've been asking them to do, and a lot of core fans have been asking to do, about doubling down on the brand. And it's when what I agree with you, King, when you talk about the brand value and the splash screen and everything. Branding is so important. It's the way you leverage the identity of these boxes or these platforms, I should say. Richard Torres, thank you for the $5 super chat. Kingthrash was saying Halo isn't a franchise that should have gone GAAS, but Halo 2 was built specifically to be played online via Xbox Live. I don't think GAAS and online are
not the same. Yeah. Go ahead, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. This is the thing. I want PlayStation 2 multiplayer. I don't like GAAS necessarily, but GAAS is a necessary evil nowadays to do multiplayer. I would much rather have a multiplayer component for Halo. I don't want that to be GAAS. I want like just a standalone mode. That's it. Pay for the content going forward. Great. But that time has passed. Richie, thank you again. He goes, bruh, Bloody Raw isn't Konami. They published it, but has ABK. Okay. Actually, I think you're right. I did a video on. I still love Bloody Raw. Mandigo McThicken, thank you for the $5 super chat. God damn it, guys! Stop digging in the Kingthrash. A basic rule of existing is that you must be able to do basic maths and understand fundamentals of volcanoes. The shade. The shade. Rambling entertained with the $5 super chat. Don't take it hard. It was just a joke. As long as no. No, that's the super chat saying. He says, stop asking to see other men's volcaning or do math or rap. How is everyone feeling about the console wars evolving into fighting for second place on Steam? PlayStation is winning, says Rambling Entertain. And Mandika Thickens Thrash. You do not get a pass for the heinous comment about Dirt. You have zero credibility. Listen, I'm big friends with Dirt, and that is something these two can talk about. This isn't the platform for that. So those two can thrash it out. I have mad love for both of you, but you guys need to, just resolve it. But that's a different topic. That's different. It's like it's not for me to talk about. It's not.
Just let me know later on a text.
Yeah. You can solve that afterwards. So that was the biggest history of our show segue in super chat, and I loved it because bro. Can I just say one thing? Yeah, look, me and you, we went at each other's throats legitimately on content, and we believed it. We were constant warring for time, and we went raw, said mad shit about each other, and then it's gaming, and we hashed it out. And these conversations, and I invite Kingthrash, and the comments I got is, oh, Kingthrash and blah, blah, why are you getting him on? And I'm getting it from everywhere, from DMs to everything. But for people watching it, in terms of conversation, isn't this more interesting than having an echo chamber of same panel people saying the same shit? To me, this is the most entertaining part of this. And even in the content creation side, like I make fun of whatever, it's just banter. That's the thing. It's banter. I get it. People will not like everyone. Some people think I'm extremely toxic and they will never invite me on their show. The same thing with you, Kingthrash.
For sure.
But
Cole blocked me because I said hi one day. I said, "What's up, Cole?" He was like, "Block, you fucking thrash." And I'm like, "What are you doing?"
Why, Cole?
What I
do? Shit.
No, I get it all the time, man.
Listen, man, I love the conversations, and if people are sincere, then I really do like, even if we massively disagree. And I'll keep doing it. I know people don't like it, but I think secretly you guys love the banter, man. That's what it's all about. Otherwise, it gets boring. Fantasy Night, thank you for the $3 super chat. That was your first super chat, and then you retracted it. So I don't know what you said. So apologies. But yeah. All right. So that was a massive segue into that. Let's talk about. Okay, which topic do we talk about? Ghosts of Tsushima. It's coming. The director's cut is coming to PC on May 16. And PlayStation's third party again. Kingthrash. What? No, it's not. This is an old game. It's 4 years old, and it's coming for a while. But this is a game that a lot of people below. I love it. I said this is underrated as fuck. Check it on Twitter. I've said it, and I've said multiple times. And this is a big one. It's coming to PC. And when it did get announced, if you check the PlayStation blog, a lot of PlayStation faithful were pissed. Kingthrash, how do you feel about Ghost of Tsushima coming to PC?
I think it's happening because PC, or I should say Steam, I don't like to call them. He's coming to Steam, right? Steam and Epic, from what I understand. So it's coming to two platforms, right? It's coming to two platforms that's on PC.
This is your platforms within platforms spiel. I know where you're going with this.
hey, even Sony said the same exact thing I said, and I said it. I've been saying it before they came out and said it, but it's true. It's just I've been in business for a long time. It's true. PC is a hub. It's fucking Walmart. It's a hub that you can build yourself. It has you can put anything on it. You can do everything from buy a water hose to go on Amazon and buy a PlayStation, an Xbox, a Nintendo. You can buy whatever you want on there. You can do almost anything on a PC. There are platforms within that. The platforms that they have on there is Steam, GOG, Epic. And so that's not in competition with Sony. Until Sony gets a platform on PC is when those platforms will be competition to them. So Sony, those games are third party. Don't get me wrong, because they are on the other platform. Every game that comes to PC, to me, and it should be to everybody, is a third party, because there's now a third party taking money out of the pot. So, I mean, they've been doing this for years. I'm not going to get mad every time they bring a game. It's not like they just was quiet and said only 4 and then bring more. They didn't do all that. They said we're going to bring our games, after some time, we'll bring some games to PC, and that's what they've been doing. They didn't lie to us. They didn't bullshit. What is there to be mad about?
No, they haven't done that, and this is a continuation of their plan. But Ghosts of Tsushima presumably sold well, and yet they still want to get more money, and they're hoping that this will sell. I think Ghosts of Tsushima should actually do better. I'm guessing, do better than Horizon did on PC.
Yeah.
Yeah, or maybe, that's actually interesting.
I think because since they're bringing it up to PC in that way, a lot of these games were already on PC through PS Now, but nobody want to talk about that. But even if it's because it's on PC in that way, I mean, it's going to get more and more fans, and that's what they're basically doing. They are literally saying, "Hey, look at what we got over here going on our PlayStation. Here you go. It's not day and date. It's not going to be the specs that we could make it. I know they can make these games run better and all, but why would they do that? When they can convince you to get off your $5,000 PC, spend $499.99 and get something just as good, and not only just as good, it looks sexy in your living room. You know what I'm saying? It might be a giant looking sexy thing, but so is your PC. You got Christmas lights. What? You don't need all that. Let us do it. You know, $500 you get the same quality. It's better than every PC exclusive that you can find on Steam store anyway. These are going to be the highest quality there. So if you want higher quality, come to the PlayStation, or you can play Xbox games and discover lower quality on PC, or you can play Steam games and discover lower, and then you can do all of that, or you can come to our closed compartment to where there's no cheaters and all of that stuff, because we stop cheaters from coming in and hacking. There's not as much as PC, at least. Like they're advertising this shit. Look at our old games. This is all
they're gonna cheat on. There's no multiplayer games.
Oh, there's plenty to cheat on. Bro,
I'm just kidding. Typically, the first-party games don't have a lot of multiplayer content, but there is. So it was funny when you were saying, like, you can buy all these things, you can do all this shopping on PC, you can do that all on the Xbox consoles, because the Xbox console has a browser.
Yeah, they do. They do have a browser. It's a trash browser.
I never use it, but
browser. Yeah, I believe Sony has one too. You just got to do the workaround to get it. I know. See, I'm teaching you real quick, Cole. All you got to do is text yourself.
I know they got to do that workaround to get Pornhub on there.
Yeah. I mean, because PlayStation gamers watch Pornhub. You and GAAS watch movies together. That's what Xbox.
Yeah, GAAS and I snuggle and watch Neil
deGrasse Tyson. That's what we watch.
But I believe that I think Sony fucked up in a few ways with the PlayStation, and the browser is one of them. Like,
there might be a security reason why they don't do a browser.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
So people can't make workarounds on stuff. But
yeah.
I don't you have the Edge browser on Xbox, and I don't even use it. But
the PS3 had the best browser. You could do damn near anything with the PS3's browser. Like, dynamic.
It had Linux at one point.
Yeah, all the
movies,
dynamic backgrounds and stuff.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
Yeah,
you said in chat the Ghosts of Tsushima sold 8% of the
it sold.
player base on
It says
PlayStation.
9.7 million on PS4, but it's got a PS5 version, the director's cut, which probably sold a couple million. So across, what is it, 150 million PS4s and 5s, it's sold around 10 to maybe 12% of the platform. But 10 million sales on one game is a success for sure.
Yeah.
But to bring it to Steam, it was weird that it took so long, because it was one of the games that everyone was like, we want this one now.
Yeah.
Because right now you could play it on PS5 at 60 frames. Like, you don't need a PC to experience that game the way it should be. And I played it on a PS4 at 30 and I loved it. So it's good that this one's coming out, and I hope it does well for sales, because I think Hiroki Totogi's trying to tell the shareholders and even the fans, like, the original statement from Jim Ryan was, we're going to put games on PC later or down the road, after some time. I think the words you used that you quoted. But I think that time is going to either need to be shrunken, or there's going to be a lot of games that decide that's just going to launch on PC day and date. Because, like, I misspoke at the beginning of the show and I said everybody's losing money. What I really mean is, like, everyone's profit margins are so razor thin across the entire platform, where there's like this like what I talked about at the very beginning, how uncomfortable it is when you're talking about gaming or making content, where the whole industry right now is kind of in a bad situation and everyone's not happy, and people are losing their jobs and studios having problems and games being pushed or shelved or canceled. The whole exclusivity thing was part of what your video was about yesterday, GAAS, is that exclusivity is changing. Like, the idea of my white box can play these games and only these games, or this gray box, this cartridge only fits in this cartridge. That's all we've known our whole lives. Like, King's been around for a long time. You played on so many different platforms growing up that it was a cartridge-based thing, and then you played on disc-based consoles, and we had this idea of what games were and what was exclusivity, and I think the definition has just evolved, and the industry is, like, on board. Sean Layden's interview the other day was really great, where he's I can't quote him exactly, but he's kind of saying that whole exclusivity thing is in a big flux right now.
Well, actually, Sean Layden went on Bari and Persona show.
Yeah, he clarified that on Whoops today. He said
what
they
did
are.
He say?
Said that they're extremely important, and they are. And I think, like, for Microsoft, they aren't, and it's because Microsoft is a different type of company than Sony. And that's not no constant war stuff. I think that Microsoft is a stronger company than Sony when it comes to software ability, to where they can put things on, because they're a software company. It's like Sony is a hardware company, so they have the advantage in hardware. Their hardware on paper is weaker than the Xbox, but look at the results.
Yeah.
Power doesn't matter.
Yeah, and Nintendo is a toy company, right? And so hardware is going to matter to them, and that's why all their games look like toys. That's why they're amiibos and all that stuff and everything. It's all toys. If you think of, I'm telling you straight up, it is what it is. You have a hardware company, you have a toy company, you have a software company. Microsoft's why Microsoft not doing VR. They might as well put their games on VR. They might as well put their games on other people's hardware. Microsoft as a company has been doing this to their own company outside of Xbox ever since Nadella got on. That's why you got Windows on Apple. That's why you got Word on Apple. You got Excel and everything on their direct competitors. Like, more important competitors to them would be an Apple over a PlayStation. PlayStation doesn't mean shit to them as far as competition goes, right? But as Apple is their main competition. Google is their main competition. Google wouldn't even allow them to have Xbox stream games to YouTube because of this competition. So it's like Microsoft is trying to get out of that and just push and just try to work with everybody on a software front. And so that's why exclusives are dying for Xbox. It's because it's the one thing holding the Xbox back. When they have so many partners who own hardware, they want to be on cell phones. They want to be on PC. They've been kissing Steam on the mouth for years now. Like, they've been they're doing what's best for their business, and I agree. And I think Sony can't afford to keep up with what Xbox is doing. As a company, they can't. There's many companies who can't afford to have a Game Pass. Fucking Stadia died, bro. And Google. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not too many people can do what Microsoft is doing. Then that's why they keep saying we're going to do what we can uniquely do, and that they uniquely have a $1 trillion company. So it's money. Sony couldn't keep up. Nintendo couldn't keep up with Microsoft as far as what the changes that are happening in gaming. These are only changes that Microsoft can do.
Facts.
These companies need exclusives because they can't do it no other way. They can't do a service. What are they going to do? Put their games on other people's platforms? So who's going to have hardware if everybody gets rid of hardware? Like, they have to sell their hardware, and the way you sell your hardware is with exclusives. That's damn near the only way to do it, because these hardwares are so close to each other that the only differentiation factor in this motherfucker is the exclusives.
Exactly.
So they're just too important for a company like Sony. But Microsoft can afford to take all these different risks that they have been taking for years now. They gave y'all a whole library of games for $1. Nobody is doing that.
Yep.
Microsoft has been so nice to their customers. You can't even blame them for going third party or whatever the fuck they're going to do in their plans, because they tried. They're like, look, our games ain't all the way as good as the populace wants, but at the same time, look, we're gonna make a subscription service for you that's a fucking $1 that you can get in for $1, and we're gonna let y'all cheat us with that and get like 3 years for $3 or whatever. We're gonna let y'all do that. We're gonna let y'all make multiple accounts to then reverb the whole thing and do the shit all over again. We're gonna let you do all that, and then at most we're gonna charge you $17, and we're gonna give you all of our first party games day and date. Nobody is doing that because they can't afford to do it. Sony can't afford to do it. Nintendo can't afford to do it. Google Stadia could not afford to put out 2 first party games. They put out 1. That's it. I don't even know if that was really first party. That game is on all platforms now. But they could not. They couldn't hang, bro. Like, it's so hard to do this way of business.
And
so,
you nailed it there. I think you're absolutely spot on. I don't know what people in chat, if they are disagreeing, are saying, but he's spot on. Like, this is the thing I disagree with, Cole. Microsoft doing it is different to Nintendo. That they are trying to make that the norm. But PlayStation's identity is intrinsically linked to the box, to the console, to leveraging the value proposition of that box. I said it from my first appearance on RDX, when I was a nobody. I'm still a nobody, but still, I went on RDX and I said, the first show, I said, I like PlayStation's approach, where they don't dilute the value proposition of their box, because they'll keep you guessing when the game is going to come out on PC. Because most of us can't wait for a long time. So there's a bit of this saving grace with the Xbox third-party strategy, in that if they are going to, which I believe they are, they'll actually stall the release and make it timed on PlayStation, but then that window will get smaller. But you're right, I can't argue with that, King. And I think the analysis is spot on. And I want PlayStation to survive in that way. I want exclusives to matter in that way. I want Nintendo to do what they're doing. And Microsoft is waving the white flag in that regard, in the console space. That's the L. Now, you have to admit that, and a lot of people won't. I'm like, well, what the fuck will you argue for 5-6 years?
And they won't repeat L's, bro. It's weird. That's why I don't complain about games going to PC from PlayStation, because if I kept arguing about it and being mad, it's gonna be like L's day after day after day. Every time they bring a game, I'm gonna be mad about it. You know what I'm saying? Why? Like, just accept what they are doing as a company. It is what it is. I can't fix it. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. If they want to make more money, and they're doing it the way they want to do it, then have them do it. If Microsoft is doing what they're doing what they're doing because they're trying to make money. They have tried to get Xbox to sell. They've tried, bro. Like, they've tried more than every other console out here. They gave you the best deal in gaming, and most Xbox fans cheated them. There's people like Destin. Shout out to Destin. He has a video on how to cheat Game Pass on his channel. This is an Xbox channel. Like, I just would never understand the reason why people would not want to support the platform they love. If you love gaming, fucking-port it. It's not going to happen for free. You can't complain about people getting crunched and getting fired and getting laid off, but at the same time, you're not buying their fucking games. What else is going to happen to them? You have to support gaming. There has to be a two-way thing. We pay, they bring us a game for us.
That's where I disagree. I think subscribing is support. I think it is.
It is. It is.
That's what I'm saying. But then on
Hiroki's also saying the PlayStation players aren't enough. They're not paying enough. The games cost too much. They're not making enough money on them.
They just raised the price of $70 last year. They just raised the price of PS Plus what $20 last year. We were paying
still
more
not enough.
We're paying more than that. Then it's their problem to figure out. We got to be customers too. It's their problem.
I mean, you should be asking for PlayStation to put all of their first party and third party money-hatted games into PlayStation Premium.
No,
so if you're paying 17 or 15 a month, you get all those games with that
for
service.
The value of the price hike, I guess, to justify that.
Absolutely.
But not as
or so make a $20 tier and put all of your PlayStation exclusives in the service. And people don't like this, but Xbox is making $3 to $4 billion a year on Game Pass, and it's barely even moving right now. Because the platform as a whole, like that money around to figure out how that works for the platform, because they're losing their butts on the console. They're losing like $100 every time they sell a Series X. I don't know why. They don't know how to get that together. Maybe it's because they haven't sold 50 million. They've only sold 28 million consoles. If they had 50 million this early on, they would make the margin would be nicer on the console. But the way it is, we're only selling 25 million when they should be selling 50. Their profit margin is eked to where they're losing $100 on a Series X. So you can see people looks at the business and goes, why should we push so hard to only have the console when the console is not telling them that they're going to sell more consoles by hiding everything on one piece of plastic? It's a totally different approach.
No, you're wrong there, though. Especially when it comes to subscriptions. It's not that they have these subscriptions go cross-gen and cross-platform, right? It's on PC, it's on Xbox One, and it's on Xbox Series. So, like, those are continuous. Though there are Xbox Series games on.
Unfortunately, like almost every game the past year or two has been only on Series console. You know,
right? But they can still use the Xbox One to play those games, right? From what I understand. So there's reasons to get this subscription service, right? And it's only $1. Think about it like this, bro. Nintendo brings out retro games on their service, and they have more people on their service than Game Pass.
They charge for their backup pad. I know, isn't that ridiculous?
Yeah, but I mean, gamers don't really. Gamers like to own their games in some way, shape, or form. I don't want to rent my games. If that was the case, I would do GameFly. You know what I'm saying? GameFly has all those games for all those platforms, day and date. Well, not day and date, but 3 days. You know what I'm saying? And you can get it GameFly, and if you like it, you can pay a discount and buy, just like Game Pass. Game Pass isn't even new to the gaming space. So it's like,
it's like 5 years old or something.
I don't think these services are, they're obviously not helping, because Microsoft, outside of the service, are putting their games on PlayStation, which devalues the service, because now they're available off of the service on another platform.
Service. Yeah.
Right. So it's like there is an issue there. And you said $3 billion they make $3 billion, but that's revenue. You're not talking about how much money they spend to even make that $3 billion. They're paying.
Well, they already said Game Pass is profitable. So I know that $3 billion or $4 billion is not profit, but they have that revenue and they're still profitable. But they need to be doing a lot better. The problem with Game Pass is they don't have enough first party games.
The $1 thing is a bit like most people are not on the $1 tier.
I'm just saying that's how diluted the word is. Like, profitable, you can mean you made a fucking dollar. You know what I'm saying? You can still, it's profitable. It made $1. They won't tell you how much it made. They'll just tell you it's profitable.
I mean, that's true, King. I mean, PlayStation is profitable, but their profit margins are so thin that the CEO had to have an emergency meeting with the shareholders and say, get this crap on PC ASAP. Well, he didn't say those words, but I mean, that's if you're paying attention, that's the evolution of even PlayStation's
There's
platform.
definitely a squeeze being applied at Sony as well. Like, that's
everywhere.
We can't. Everyone.
PlayStation's doing way better than Xbox, guys, but they're still hurting. Xbox is hurting, and they're all hurting in their own ways. And
Nintendo.
And I don't think Game Pass is super successful, but I'm thinking probably Xbox looks at that and goes, "Well, it's doing pretty good. It's floating along quite nicely. We're making some money there, and we're still moving along. We're still selling some consoles." Like, it actually, I always laugh when people say no one's buying Xbox. So I'm like, you realize King set this up really well like an hour ago. They give you no reason to buy the console, and they still have 28 million of them sold when the world tells you Even Xbox tells you don't need to buy our console. They don't ask you to even buy it. They don't even like push it. They don't even market the thing, right?
Yeah.
And it's the console actually sells. Like, I'm surprised they've sold any on the premise that you do not even need. You want to play any, like, let's say there's one game that Xbox is going to make. Let's say that Indiana Jones I finally want to play on the Xbox platform. You don't have to buy an Xbox console. It's a completely different business market. And we're sitting here in the middle of, especially this past few months, where the world, the games industry, the media and journalists and everybody's telling you exclusivity, and that definition is completely changing, and it's going to have to change in the future. It can no longer mean what it used to.
Microsoft. That's where I disagree. I don't like. Asa, this goes back to your question last week, wasn't it? What is fundamentally changed in the industry where the people are saying exclusivity is changing? It is for Microsoft, but I don't want to conflate Microsoft's strategy born out of almost defeat and maybe grander visions to then conflate that with what the rest of the industry is actually doing. This is my way to bring you in. I know you've been quiet there.
I mean, I was having a little chat elsewhere. I wouldn't let Microsoft redefine the meaning of any words. I'll say that much. Like, I don't care what they think an exclusive is. They're not redefining the dictionary to suit their marketing.
They're not even using the word, Asa. I'm talking about the industry as a whole is talking about this. Go ahead.
I think that's nonsense, and I think I'm not saying you, but I think there's a lot of that sentiment is born out of a lot of copium, and I've seen that from. And I'm not attacking these guys, but Destin and Paris and all of these guys, and they're like, oh, well, does the industry? Well, when that happens, wholesale to PlayStation, then we'll talk about it. But right now, at the face of it, it's Xbox trying to bring this in and trying to reconcile a lot of its.
So
wait a minute, hold on, guys. Like what were they saying? What was Hiroki saying in that business update? And the going everywhere there's compute and becoming more multi-platform.
Yeah.
They're not going on Xbox. And I've told people a million times, I'm not trying to say that everybody's going to do what Xbox is doing. It's just that the whole exclusivity idea of this box only plays this, and it won't work anywhere else. That's completely dissolving, and the industry and everyone's been talking about that, especially the past few months. Like, you've got Matt Piscatella talking about it, Sean Layden's talking about it, Peter Moore is even like questioning what this means for the future.
Well,
like, it's completely changed.
Before I go into the next one, Asa, do you want to? Sorry, we interrupted you there.
Wait.
No, I just vaguely like the stuff that Kingthrash was saying about Sony's strategy and approach being different to Microsoft's. They are very different companies in very different positions, and I've been saying for years that Sony, in terms of navigating the market, and there are changes in the market and there are struggles and there are challenges, and they can look at what Microsoft are doing, and Sony are going to struggle to replicate what Microsoft are doing because they are very different companies with very different strengths. They can also look over their shoulder and see what Nintendo are doing, and again, different company, different strengths, but there are things that you can take from that business model that has been working for them for years and years and years without as much change whatsoever. And Sony needs to navigate that line very carefully to keep themselves relevant and profitable. But I don't want them to go exactly the same direction as Xbox. I don't need these two companies to be the same. And my opinion on exclusives is not actually as absolute as most people's. I see arguments about this, and everyone seems to fall on either exclusives are terrible and shouldn't exist and everything should be everywhere, or exclusives are essential and everyone should be fighting for them all the time. And there's so much more nuance to that topic because they are still important. They do still have a place. They are still relevant. I'm an advocate of as many games being available to as many people as possible wherever that makes sense. But there are circumstances where an exclusive matters, where when they release their next set of consoles, when Sony and Microsoft come out with whatever's next, I fully expect them to put some, they have a responsibility to show the world what this platform can do before they've got a viable ecosystem for third parties, before the multi-platform thing makes sense. There's a window of time where exclusives really do matter, and I fully expect them to do that. They have to, right? Otherwise, why should they put that burden on EA or Ubisoft or anyone else to put a game that takes full advantage of a console into an ecosystem that can't support the budget for that game? They can't. Exclusives matter, and exclusives suck at the same time. So it's always there's always something in the middle. Go on.
It's a necessary evil, bro. It's a necessary evil. You sit there and make a platform. You make a console. Imagine Nintendo not utilizing the what Nintendo Switch does.
Yeah.
Like imagine if you couldn't use it handheld, but you could still take it out the box and walk around with the shit. It's just a picture. Like it just you got to make games that utilize what you make. You know what I mean? You got to have games that utilize the hardware that you make, because that's what makes it unique.
Yeah.
You invest in these hardware, the dual sense and the triggers, and I mean, fuck, you can feel. Do you know you can in God of War you can feel the water when you're in a canoe? Like if you sit there stagnant in the canoe, you can feel the water on the fucking haptics, bro. Like that's how much they put into it, you know. And it's just it's going to be hard to get other games to go that deep into the hardware like a first party studio would do. I'm still waiting for Xbox One X's 6 teraflops of power. I'm still waiting. I love the Xbox One X. The Xbox One X was the last time to where you can really say, okay, I see the difference in this. Like we've seen like Red Dead Redemption in 4K.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? On there, and you didn't have that on. You had that differential factor, even though that wasn't even an exclusive. That feature in consoles was exclusive to Xbox's platform. So it's like I think this type of stuff is needed. Utilizing the hardware is needed, and we got to see that from Microsoft more. They should have upgraded their controller, bro. Like something.
I
They
think so.
do the same shit. Still using batteries.
I don't care about the battery thing.
I'm
The
agreeing.
battery thing's amazing.
I actually like the battery thing.
The battery thing's
that's
amazing,
the thing,
yeah.
but the console controller needed an upgrade. I like the battery.
You live in
They
a
should
good
have added
neighborhood.
haptics, but
All right. You
they
live
should
in
have
a
added
good neighborhood.
haptics. I don't think they knew the PlayStation had them.
But you know, I like Thrash. I just like swapping the batteries over. I got the rechargeable ones. Don't I?
Because
It's-
look, if I'm playing the game, right, and I'm having fun, I'm playing Gears of War. That's one of my favorite franchises is Gears of War. 1 through 3, 4 and 5 don't count. And I'm playing these games, right, and my battery died. It's 2:00 in the morning. I got to go to 7-Eleven and SA
No, you
Hood.
just get
I'm not
rechargeable,
going to do that, son. I might not come
Oh,
home.
man, no one does that. You just get rechargeable.
The industry
batteries, they're ready,
agrees
boom,
that the
gone.
battery well is superior because it gives you like 5 different options. Battery
lost
pack,
Thank
you for the
rechargeable
damn
batteries. You
industry.
can plug it right in.
Double A battery.
Well, I mean,
get
I've
out.
seen so many reports about why the battery well is better because it offers you the
Options are
flexibility
good,
to do the way you want to power your controller. If you
I
have a
don't want
packing, you have a
I
packing
don't want to
battery.
use my controller as a goddamn subscription service. My bad, Cole. But I don't. But that's a subscription service, bro. I am paying annually to play my controller, bro. I don't want to do that. That is a subscription. My bad, bro.
If you're putting Duracell batteries in your controller, that's a you problem.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I had the same
Come on,
rechargeable
bro.
batteries for
I mean,
years.
it's not even
for
worth
years.
discussing. It's been
Yeah,
settled
it
a long
actually
time ago
isn't
that
worth
having a battery
discussing.
well is a better option.
I understand, but how about this then, Cole? Why do
Yeah.
these controllers cost the same? Okay, there's
Why do what?
not a battery in the Xbox controller. There's a built-in one on the PlayStation, so I got to invest more. So now this controller, if I want to get a charger for it, it's going to cost $14 more than the competition's controller, only because it's an incomplete controller, right? It's incomplete without the batteries. You can't use it without the batteries, so you're going to sell
that
me an
sucks.
incomplete controller.
That's
that I
it.
have
For
to invest more
$14, you can get
money
a
in.
battery charging pack with 4 controller batteries for it.
I believe
sucks.
it, but I have to buy that.
But hey,
It sucks.
it's great.
Don't
It
give me an
lasts for a
incomplete
while,
receipt.
man. It lasts for a while. Yeah, but talk about
complete, dog.
batteries.
Hey, Matthews says, Cole, why don't you talk about woke gaming? I've talked about it a lot. I'm not scared of talking about anything. There's some things I don't talk about on other people's podcasts because it's not my platform. But there you go.
Yeah, no, that's true.
And like I said, just make the games good. Just serve the game, make them enjoyable. That's the most important thing.
I don't
But
think
yeah.
it should be a topic in gaming. Period. That's gaming is supposed to escape all this bullshit that we got going on around us. Let the idiots on everywhere else do that shit. Gaming is supposed to be us locked on some shit. I don't care if it's a man, woman, child, black, white. I don't care who I'm playing with. As long as the game is good, it's fantastic.
What if the character looks like me, King? Will you throw it away?
Hey,
Starfield characters.
I ain't gonna lie.
What if it's Redfall and it looks like me?
You look a little bit like Glass Joe from Mike Tyson's Punch Out, and I still kept that shit.
Glass Joe. I freaking love that game. I love it so much.
Okay,
Wait, what were we talking about before? The stupid batteries
I'm
thing.
not talking about batteries. I'm going to go
What was
to
it?
the Peter Moore interview, but before that, let me just get these super chats.
Bro,
Bro,
today,
fucking
I
batteries.
told you guys, I told you I'm gonna have them wrapped around my finger. They're gonna be paying you today.
They did. Most of these are addressed to you, so there's that. Fantasy Night, thank you so much for the $2. How big are your balls, and do each of you bounce? What the flip is that about? Okay, I'm not gonna answer that. Capono 5150, thank you for the $5 super chat. Under that plastic, both are pretty close to the same. It's really the Lisa Sue console. She created the APU. Yeah, they're similar, but they're doing different things. Mike, thank you for the $10 Canadian. He goes, Stadia is gone because it was a failing business, and Xbox is still here because it's not. Kingthrash thinks Microsoft can just sustain losses forever. That's not how businesses work.
I never said that. I said they could sustain more loss than everyone else, though.
Yeah,
that's what they've been doing. They've been sustaining more loss than everybody in the gaming industry right now.
Yeah, they have.
So
even just birthing Game Pass.
That's why they're making changes. I mean, they make changes because they don't want to sustain losses like that. Yep. I thought that was obvious.
Yeah, that's true. Christian 5916, thank you for the $10 super chat. Microsoft should make their Xbox their gaming. Should make Xbox their gaming operating system. Let us install on any hardware like a PC handheld. Sell the license like Windows. Forget about the hardware and make great games. Well, I'm hoping that OS goes into handhelds because I don't want to deal with Windows on these rogue allies.
They can't do that. Like, I talked to somebody that used to work with licensing for Xbox, and I was like, there's a way around for them to just put like the Xbox OS or the experience on a PC or a handheld and say, this is an Xbox, but the licensing won't go for it. Otherwise, I think Xbox would do that. Make you sign into your Xbox Live account, play on a ROG Ally, and like your actual Xbox games can be installed there and played there. Like it would be a dream, and it could be the future if they get around licensing. Because the reason why, like, PlayStation would love for you to buy all of their games, if they sell them outside of PlayStation, they would love for you to buy them directly from the PlayStation Store. Like, imagine a future where you could install the PlayStation app, and it's the PS5 dashboard on a PC, and all the games you bought on your PlayStation are installable and playable there. The trophies and everything is exactly there, but I don't think licensing works that way, because then PlayStation would get 100% of the revenue every time you bought a game from Borderlands 3 to The Last of Us Part 2. They would get like their full cut that they usually get. But yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. It's a cool idea, though.
Cool. Okay.
I
got a few more minutes here.
That there's a lot of resistance in third party. We know from Xbox's attempts to do cross entitlement, cross purchase, whatever they wanted to call it. There is a lot of third party resistance to letting that license go to PC and console. So you're right about that.
Yeah, there is.
I know you've got a few. Colt, you said you could be.
Ace, I even heard that they've got it working. Like, they've got games to run, but that licensing is like, nope. So they're probably holding that in the back pocket to see what can happen. I got to say really quick, when I was talking about the exclusivity, I don't know if I need to like bang that over the top of the head, but like, Xbox needs, like Phil says, if you believe him, right? He says exclusivity is still important to them, because I don't think Game Pass is going to grow if all of those games, like I know Hi-Fi Rush goes, right? But if every game looking forward would be available to buy on another platform, like they said exclusivity is important. So they do have some importance in exclusivity, but it's just not like the way it used to be pre-2016. So PlayStation has a totally different approach. I think they treat exclusivity as importance differently. And sometimes when I use words, or we use words that sound like an absolute phrase, like, I mean, I know Xbox is like, oh, who cares about exclusivity? But guess what? Here's the kicker. I don't think they'll ever use the word exclusive again. Like when you showed Sarah Bond say, and yes, it's exclusive. I'm pretty sure that was the last time they've ever really used that word since 21.
Well, that's quite telling then, and that just compounds the problem, really, the identity crisis. So much so, we've got Peter Moore, like the Xbox alumni, saying Xbox will be debating right now whether Xbox consoles have a future. The console itself. What do you think of that? Did you see that, Colt? Did you see that interview with Peter Moore? What was he alluding to there?
He was saying that he's not sure if Microsoft, or he said Microsoft's probably not sure if they're going to go ahead and do another console generation. And like, he has a good right to say that from looking from the outside, but Phil's already said, and Sarah already said, they're working on the next generation console. So maybe you could have phrased it better. Like, they don't know how lucrative their next console will be, but maybe Peter Moore didn't even watch the Xbox update when they said that we're still making another console. And a lot of people are like Jez Corden are saying they'll probably have 2 more. Even Destin Legary thinks they're going to have 2 more generations. I think, guys, that Xbox is going to have 1 more generation after Series X and S. And then after that, it's going to be a real argument whether they even start developing another console after the PS6, if that makes sense.
Kink, you don't think this next bit is going to be a native console, right? You think it's going to be like a...
I don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be. I think they need to get out of the console business in order to make their dreams come true, in order to make their plan fruitate the way they wanted to. The Xbox is holding them back. The Xbox is holding them back from doing this gaming everywhere thing. You can't game everywhere and then compete with somebody, because whoever you're competing with ain't going to want you to really be on their shit like that. They're not going to want to help you beat them. It just doesn't make sense. So it's like, I think that this is just my opinion. Like I said, I'm not saying anybody's wrong. I'm saying that it just doesn't make business sense how they're approaching it right now. If they weren't putting games on PlayStation, and it's really 5 games, right? Really more than that if you count the old school games on the Switch. If they, like, why do this? Because all that does is tarnish the console. Because now everybody's going to look at the console like, I don't need to get another one. They're just going to put their games on PlayStation. And there's just so many different reasons why this doesn't make sense. I seen a tweet from Microsoft Xbox saying it's okay to play on PlayStation. Like, it just, I don't believe there's going to be another console, because I don't think that's what they want to do. And if they wanted to make another console, they would have made Call of Duty exclusive. They would have taken the things that they bought and gave you a reason to play these games on Xbox. Call of Duty would have been exclusive and unique to Xbox. Imagine that.
I don't think nobody would have let them.
Nobody would have let them.
That one was Call of Duty was a hard one to get him to make exclusive for reasons we know now. But the rest of it, I do agree with you.
They couldn't even buy the company.
The company wouldn't have the same worth. I agree. I said this from the jump that Call of Duty would never be exclusive. It makes absolutely no business sense. They would just period. That's what you're doing. You're damaging the one golden goose that you actually just bought. It doesn't make any sense. But
I think
if they want to sell the console, how would they? Okay, tell me, how are they going to sell the next generation console? How? What's their strength?
So that's a good question. Actually, I was just about to say, there's a small glimmer of hope for me in terms of how Xbox could uniquely leverage its position. Now, on a hardware basis, that might sound pretty crazy, but I think what I'm imagining what they'll do is leverage AI somehow. We were hearing about how they're going to leverage AI in hardware. And I feel like because of their strength in that and what they have available to them, I don't know. Maybe they would do something in hardware. Like Asa, you said, you've always said that, irrespective of this third-party strategy, Microsoft would always do something to make their platform uniquely viable. So for you, if you're Microsoft and you've announced that you're making another console, to Kingthrash's question, what is it that you would do to just make it distinctive? What do you expect the next Xbox to be?
Well, so I never say always, because absolutes don't suit me very well, and things will change over time eventually. Microsoft will have a platform, whether it be Game Pass, whether it be publishing elsewhere and all the rest of it. They will have you buying games on an Xbox store. That's what a platform is. So be it PC, mobile, console, whatever, there will be an Xbox store where you buy your games. They are not going to give that up, and if they do give that up, they will leave gaming entirely. That is the goal. They have to have a platform. In terms of console, the console is always just from this point forth, or whenever they made this decision a while ago forth, it is an on-ramp, an option, and not more than that. It's not an essential pillar of their ecosystem. It's one part of their ecosystem. It will be there because there are people that like playing on consoles. And it's as simple as that. Like, there are people that like playing on consoles. They want Xbox to be available for everyone until streaming and all the rest of it literally meets those needs for those people in all areas. They will keep making some hardware because it's just an on-ramp into their ecosystem. Everyone that has that console is a high-value customer that is buying things on an Xbox store, can't even be tempted away by Steam or Epic or Sony or anything else because that is the only store available on that box. So it will remain valuable and it will remain there.
Okay, well, that's a great point. So King, like, that's it. They don't have a strat like PlayStation will have a strat for their console itself. Not maybe that focus on leveraging or distinguishing that box from Xbox, which means you'll have more confidence in PlayStation really delivering on the hardware front with the PS6 compared to the Xbox.
I'll say to that, I'll say this, because I listen closely to what they do say. One thing that Sarah Bond said, right? Hair perfectly pressed, looking all cute, right? She said that everywhere is an Xbox, right? Everything with a screen. If you think about it, we all have Xbox. We're all on Xbox right now, according to how they view Xbox. We're all on Xbox, even though we're podcasting on different devices. Those devices can play Xbox, and that's telling within itself that they can easily leave the console business and not lose anyone, because if you really do love Xbox and Xbox games, you already own a device to play them, and that just makes it less hard. It makes it way less. You have a device. You don't even need to buy anything. You have one, and you can still play an Xbox Series. We could stream next generation graphics to that. When we get ready to do that. Every device that we have, Microsoft has said they want to be on every screen, every device. Look where they're at. They're literally going on every screen and every device. Why would they do that and then waste money manufacturing a console that won't sell well? To me, this doesn't make sense. If you already have the ability to put your software anywhere and make software money, you're not making money on the hardware, and you're not selling enough hardware. So if you could put your stuff on more popular platforms like a cell phone, like a PC, like a PlayStation, like a Nintendo, then what do you need an Xbox for to begin with? What do you need it
for the reasons whereby they'll just have a platform of their own where they can leverage exactly what Asa said.
They have it on PC. They have a Microsoft store on PC. They were trying their best to have a Microsoft store on Apple, but Apple was like, y'all got it fucked up. They ain't gonna never have it on PlayStation. So having a console that's only going to sell a micro fraction of what your goals is. Remember, their goal is 2 billion gamers. Yeah, it's a micro fraction of their goal. That marketplace ain't as valuable as it sounds. You have more people having more access on PC to that same marketplace than you do on a console that you have to manufacture yourself. You PC dudes are building your own platform. Y'all doing no legwork for them. All you gotta do is download their stuff. You mean to tell me they're gonna be okay with just building a platform for no reason? If exclusives don't matter, and you already have a screen that can play Xbox games, what are we actually building this hardware for? We're a software company.
Well, they, for the reasons that Asa mentioned, really, you get control. One is console gaming. Not everyone can afford to build a PC. There's that. And you'll always have console gaming, and you control all the revenue.
That's why they're making this
Steam on them.
Yeah.
Like Steam is massively dominant on PC, and that is not Microsoft. That is Valve. So if Microsoft want to be a platform, they can't have that platform be Steam because they get no money from an EA game that sells on Steam.
Right. They have Windows. They can grow that.
But Windows,
they can try. It's
Microsoft's fault for not.
Don't get me wrong. I know the PC gamers hate it, but so console gamers hate Xbox. Like it's the same hate. but you have more. You on an open platform like PC. You have more people available to come to your platform, and Xbox fans can easily get easily get a PC. And if they can't afford a PC, that's fine as well. Get a PlayStation. Our games are there.
An Xbox where they get more money.
Yeah, no,
they lose money on
manufacturing every Xbox.
I get that, but if they release another console, then surely that's an indication that they see value in it. To do it a fourth time, I don't know. Yeah, surely
they see value in a console they launch with no games. They see value in a console that they are taking some of its best games. They finally made it to where they bring in games to the console. They're finally about to come out, right? They still haven't launched their launch games yet. Games that they announced. Fucking Hellblade 2 was announced before The Last of Us 2 released. You understand what I'm saying? And people are already mad at Naughty Dog for not putting the game out already. Like they State of Decay, where is that? You know what I mean? Like it's just. You have games that you talked about at launch that you have not yet launched. But now, right when they're about to come out, now you're announcing we're putting games on other platforms. Right when you're finna get your legs under the console. Like, it doesn't make sense other than everybody plays. And if everybody plays, we all win, like they say. That's just what they've been saying. It's not me, it's them. So it's makes sense, why would you make an Xbox? Why would you make this walled console? That's what they call it, a wall to stop other people from playing. Why would you build that again if you've broke those walls down and now on every single platform out there?
It does feel like there's a bit of an identity crisis, there's business schizophrenia based on what they're saying, especially with regarding exclusivity and but I still think I don't necessarily agree that it's completely. Yeah, I get it. They're making a lot of losses, but they shouldn't forsake the console space, and I don't think they will. But we'll see. We'll find out, King.
We'll see.
In a few years,
I'm excited. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if they have the stomach to do it.
We'll see what's going on.
Yeah.
I've been right so far though. For the past 7 years, I've been saying and telling and doing documentaries and like really giving true information said by these companies. It's like I told you before, you don't even know what the Three Horizons is. You guys don't know the true meaning.
I still don't know what the Three Horizons is. Is it like Deviation Man? It's like the three seashells. What?
See, you joking about it, but I'm serious when I talk about Xbox. That's why my documentaries are serious as shit. Because I have. This is what Phil Spencer. Y'all never heard Phil Spencer talk about the Three Horizons, but he has on camera. You know what I'm saying? This is why I make these documentaries, because this information isn't delivered by the Xbox community to Xbox fans. You guys do not get proper information. You guys just say
the Three Horizons. Last time I spoke to you about it on your show, I've come away and still don't really follow.
You should have looked it up.
Is this your terminology or their terminology?
Phil Spencer said it himself. It's a business terminology. Most businesses do it, but Phil Spencer talked about the Three Horizons. Definitely on a podcast with Major Nelson on Major Nelson's channel. He talked about it, and he talked about it in an interview with I think The Verge or somebody, Bloomberg or something.
So what's the significance of what he said on this podcast? About
the Three Horizons. The Three Horizons is you change the Horizon 1 is what we have 10 years ago, right? And so I'm 10 years ago because that's how long the Three Horizons has been going.
Yeah.
Look that shit up.
What is it? What is it?
It's the norm, changing the norm into something else, right?
Okay.
So Horizon 1 used to be a Horizon 3. And Horizon 3 is the new Horizon 1. I know it sounds strange. Horizon 1 is what it is today. Horizon 2 is a transition into Horizon 3, which Horizon 3 will become the new Horizon 1. It'll become the new norm.
What the fuck are you talking about, bro? I can't.
It's a business term. This is why Phil Spencer get away with a lot of shit.
They mean like disrupting business models.
Like some marketing speak for disrupting the model.
Like disrupting and changing business models. Like you used to go to a taxi, you hail a taxi. Now you can get an Uber. You used to go to a drive-through. Now you use DoorDash or you use Airbnbs or subscription services, which
subscription services are hot. Like they're a part of all of our lives, our music, our movies, our TV, and our games. Like subscription services are big, and that's disrupted the business model to have your stuff a la carte. Like this is, if you can't continue to make further business ventures in a growing and changing market, especially like this whole thing about how the younger generation doesn't want a 30-hour open world game as much as they used to, because like the Gen Xers, this is what Matt Piscatello was talking about from MPD Group. He's like, my generation wants to sit down and live in this world and play this game and be in this world as a character. But the younger generation, like my kids, they play these other service-based games. They play games on a tablet, an iPad, or on a PC, and they don't want to sit down and do the traditional games that their dads, the boomers did. That's what part of this is why, to a fault, Xbox looks ahead of the future. They're always 5 years too early. And them going to PC 5 years too early, because I think in 5 years, at least by 5 years, if not next year, PlayStation will be day and date on PC. Because these things take time and PlayStation waits. Xbox does this stuff far too early, and the market's not ready for it, because they're like, oh, we're Microsoft, we know the future, we're the big tech giant, and they put out this voice command stuff on your console. We're like, I don't want this thing looking at me or listening to me. And now we've got these devices all over our phones and in our houses. So that's what he talks about when he's talking about the three horizons.
So Huggy King,
he was talking about what was going to happen with Xbox, and he said he was scared to death of Horizon 3. He said that 3 Horizons is based on bets that might not make it, that the public ain't gonna like, that might not. These are like risky.
They know that all too well.
Yeah, I mean, like another thing too. Like, do y'all even know why they had that TV thing in the beginning of the Xbox One generation? Do you know why they did that as a business?
They were trying to be in the home more than their competitor. No, they wanted to be in the living room.
Yeah, that was a point. That was a
they
point.
They wanted multimedia because the smart TVs didn't exist. Yeah, it was a cool bet, but I hated it for a console. It was stupid.
No, I have video of them explaining what they meant and why they did it. I have whole video of it. Okay. They wanted to save the cable business. They didn't want people to binge watch shows on an app like Netflix. That's why they were
wanted it live.
They wanted to keep the cable business alive. No, they had whole deals with the cable business. They had contracts with the cable. That's why they had the football thing, the basketball thing. I have video.
And you could run your cable box through the Xbox too. Yeah,
they had that functionality as well on the Xbox One.
Yeah, they
had to put
PlayStation saw it too. That's why they had the PlayStation View. Like PlayStation saw that shit too. Like they were trying to save the cable business because ads is easy as fuck in cable, in the cable business, and they were trying to utilize ads. But now when you go to an app, you don't got ads like that. And if you do, it's Netflix or whomever else is going to get paid the ad revenue more than anybody else. They wanted to stop that. I have full video of them breaking this shit down.
It's interesting to know that.
Yeah, we all hate live TV and
but the 3
DVR
Horizons does sound like the 3 seashells of Demolition Man.
This is back in the Xbox One. They filmed it. But that's what they were trying to do. That was the point of the TV thing. That was the whole.
That's a failure on every facet because
it was a super fail. But that's Microsoft. That's like their brand.
Going into that, if I think back of that era, King, we all wanted to cut the cord. And if that's true that Microsoft is trying to help keep cable live TV alive, like we all look back at the old days where we used our what do they call it? The thing that will record your shows?
TiVo.
TiVo, yeah. Everyone, I never had it, so I've never paid for cable. I didn't have cable at all. We didn't watch anything that was live back then. But anyway, yeah, the whole TiVo thing. Stupid. I got to go, Cass. But
okay, well,
it's been a really good,
wrap up the show.
Good comment.
I'm actually going to wrap up the show because it's gone for a while, and I'm conscious of the time as well. So just bear with me. I'm going to read these super chats.
Okay.
I just want to say, look, I'm not mocking the 3 Horizons thing. It just sounds like the 3 seashells of Demolition Man. So that's why I'm
look it up.
Like, I want to make fun.
It is, but it's a business term. So
I don't know exactly, and I don't follow that terminology that well. Yeah, I'm not mocking it. I'm being sincere when I say that. I'm just trying to find these super chats. I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you for being patient as well. And I know it's been a long show. So we've got Mandingo McThickens with the $5 super chat in my Dr. Evil voice. So another company won't help another win. Yet Sony will be paying Microsoft for a percentage of every copy of Call of Duty sold. Right.
So that's actually wrong. Microsoft pays them royalties. But go ahead. It's okay.
Also, Sony are getting a better deal under Microsoft than they were under ABK as well. There has to be.
Yeah, ABK was getting paid 5%. They're going to get paid like what, 30 now? So it's whatever.
Mike with the $5 Canadian, thank you. Goes, let's get to 2 billion users by cutting off 50 million console sales. Ponies have great business sense. I mean, I don't know, man.
You type that up on an Xbox. Go ahead. My bad. You hear the conversation? Fuck.
Well, okay. Anyway, quick gameplay with the $10 Canadian. It's similar to Windows, and Microsoft still produces Surfaces, while other manufacturers make their own laptops. Microsoft wants gaming everywhere, so the FTC backs off for future acquisitions. I've seen that a lot, and I hope they're not acquiring more now, because Microsoft's idea of competition is not what I like. Huggy with the $10 super chat, shout out to you, goes, Kingthrash Horizon 3 is looking to the future to see what might be good options around 10 years out. This is a good thing. Of course you take it as a bad thing. Status quo sucks, he says.
Go research, bro, before you comment to me like that, bro. Because that's Huggy. He is research. he was born research.
He researched wrong, man, because Horizon 3 is the new Horizon 1. Go look it up. I'm in business. I know this term. The Horizon 3 is not looking into the future. Horizon 1 is looking into the future. You just in Horizon 1. Horizon 2 is a transition into Horizon 3, which is supposed to be the new Horizon 1. It's a plan. That's a 10-year plan, sure. But it starts at Horizon 1, not at Horizon 3.
Yeah. Okay.
Vote for Huggy for president.
All right. Well, okay. And I hope maybe one day you guys can talk on the show and on a podcast together on it. I'm not the business head. I don't profess to be. I'm just watching a pundit from the outside. And we'll see. Chat, we had a few topics here, and I'm mindful of the time. We had Yuzu getting rid of Nintendo's thing, and I don't know if you guys will really care about that. And I was going to break through some other tinier topics, but I think we're going to just call it a day because it's been a long one. Chat, thank you so much, and over 500 of you being here. Smash the like button if you did enjoy the chat. It was one of my favorite top shows, man, because I love dissenting opinions, and I also love the way King expresses opinions. Mandika, thank you again, because GAAS, for the love of God, please queue up for Twilight Zone music for this delusional maniac. This guy.
He's talking about me, by the way.
He's probably. I don't know who he's talking about anymore. I think I do, but it's a great show. It was a great show. Trust me, Kingthrash's show is messy in chat as well. So definitely do check it out. Before we go, we have to give the gents their outros. Cole, thank you. I know you have to leave. Shout out what's happening in the world of Cole Eastwood. Everyone knows who you are.
I'm going more multi-platform. That's what's good. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes, you are.
I don't know. I've got my Ecstasy podcast with Mag on Monday, where heaven help us as we get through the topics of things being like, I don't know, unfun sometimes, but we'll have some laugh. We appreciate everybody who checks us out there, and maybe I'll work on a video or something. But yeah, I just want to cover more games too. It's like sometimes you get kind of in a rut where it's like, oh, it's only Xbox, and that's why I covered Assassin's Creed Red, and then everyone's like, I don't care about Assassin's Creed Red. It was kind of interesting. I didn't realize that. I talked to a lot of people, and like, no, I'm not really excited about it. I'm like,
I'm under mine. Yeah, I've never.
Yeah, I mean, I was.
Do one for
would be cool.
I know you game. It's one thing I always told people. I never question your gaming chops.
Yeah,
I know
thank you.
I know you're a gamer.
Yeah.
So do one for the Ronin. Do one for the Ronin. You know, I know you got a PS5.
Yeah. Hey, I saw an announcement that the Stellar Blade demo is going to actually release proper a couple hours ago. Like, they spoke up, so that got on there early, so people will be able to check that out soon. I might go check that sucker out as well. So I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll see. But thanks for having me on the show.
Thank you for coming on as well, man.
Good job telling Kingthrash the wrong time.
Yeah, perfect.
I'm fucked up. That's a record of lateness for me. So I'm really sorry for that, everyone. Kingthrash, man. Controversial figure. It shouldn't be controversial, but in the Xbox community at least. But these are the conversations I love, man, and I really enjoyed our conversations today, man. And I feel like sometimes because of the manner in which you do things, which I vibe with quite a bit, because I'm quite confrontational as well, very similar to you in that sense, or appears to be. You kind of, like me, sometimes burn bridges, but when I came on your show, I actually wanted to have a chat with you, because I don't think sometimes people give you the chance, and they're very angry. But I loved my time on your show, and I loved you being on here, and I hope you enjoyed your time on here as well, man.
I did, man. Especially sitting with Colt, man. Colt is a legend in the Xbox streets, man. I always give respect where it's due, man. I'm not even saying that shit on no bullshit, bro. The work you put in, I saw you grow. I saw you handle your shit. You put out good content, and that's good. Asa, you know what I'm saying? I was quiet. I mean, you was quiet. I need you to speak up more. You are very intelligent, brick dog. You know your shit. Your opinions do matter here. Your gaming level might be low, I don't know, but you do know. I'm just fucking with you. But you, bro, like don't.
It's high.
Even if you don't like console war stuff, still speak on it, bro. You have a mind that you can speak on this game and shit, bro. I'm gonna need to hear you more, because you
Thanks,
can.
I had fun with you today. It's been pretty good. Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, unblock me, Colt, bro. I don't even know what I did. What did I do? All I did was log in, and Colt was like, "Oh, Kingthrash? Oh, he's too handsome."
No, I don't. Who knows? This was ages ago.
I don't know. I don't know what the fuck. I was like, "What did I do?" I'm like, "Okay, okay, cool, but unblock me, okay? Unblock, okay? I know
right.
It's okay. You're a PlayStation guy now. Unblock, okay?" But no, as far as my channel goes, man, I never advertise my channel. So everybody here, if you are subscribed to me, subscribe to GAAS, subscribe to Colt, subscribe to, I don't know, this is Asa's channel. Subscribe to GAAS' other channel. Or Asa, whatever, however it is. But if you don't know who I am, it's because you're not supposed to know who I am. All right? Get your fucking game up in this gaming streets, and you know who I am. I'm not gonna tell you where to find me, nigga. Look, I don't know how else to tell you other than that. But I'm always an advocate for gaming, all of gaming, bro. I mean, the reason why I talk about Xbox the way I do is because I care about Xbox. I grew up with Xbox, and I know more about Xbox than most of the people that you think know a lot about Xbox. So I'm a Gears of War fan. It's one of my favorite franchises of all time. Right next to The Last of Us, Sarah dying, in Joel's arms. Right next to that is fucking Dom's wife dying, him killing his wife because she was, bro. Like I said, I've been around, and I know this shit, man. Stop getting mad just because somebody says something that you don't like about Xbox. Everything isn't fucking perfect for any of these consoles.
Yep.
So I'm gonna say what I say. I'm not gonna hold my breath. And excuse for how I talk, but that's just how I am. I came on YouTube knowing that I was gonna check.
That's the way you're big. Is the way you talk. It's the way
I know.
Even with the beef. When me and my friends watched the video where you made fun of me and you said you looked like this broke Joe Pesci looking, we were dying, bro. We were crying. Literally, my friends said, "Who is this guy?" Because they're not mad mainstream like us. Like they're more like casuals. And I'm like, "You need to check this out. This guy made a video on me." And it was you paused him and me, you made a goofy looking face, and we were literally sat there crying at the way you were rinsing me. It was so funny. And I think that for me, entertainment value, like there are so many people in this space that are not entertaining that they do this, but you are head and shoulders one of the few people that makes me laugh out loud. Even when you gunning me, I was laughing out loud with our friends. And I get where you come from, and there's all the bullshit politics aside.
That's what I think. I think that because of this console war, there's just too much hate unnecessarily. Like at the end of the day,
we're all guilty of it.
United. We're supposed to be united, bro. We're supposed to fight against these companies low key. That's what it was back in the day. And we let these companies run around and do whatever the fuck they want with their platforms. But we, at the end of the day, we're all gamers. I don't take any. That's why I let people talk shit about me. Call me trash, whatever. That's just gaming. I've been doing it forever. So I just stop fighting amongst each other in the way that y'all doing it. Stop doing that. Stop labeling people shit, and actually hear what they got to say sometimes. Because I watch all y'all shit. I watch Coach not too much because that nigga, I'm jealous of the fucking guitar strings. But I watch everybody, and I make sure. And Xbox fans know I'll be in the chat, and I'll put money in the chat and everything, bro. Even if I don't agree with you, but it's because I support gaming as a whole, not gaming as a console war. It's stupid. I think more people need to do that. We need to stop building these walls. Stop, especially content creators. We're a different type of YouTube. We're a different type of YouTube, bro. Whether people like it or not, and we got to be more knowledgeable than most of these YouTubers out there, bro. We got
absolutely.
How many people you think know who the CEO of who make Apple Jacks? We know the CEO of all these games. And, you know what I'm saying? We gotta know.
So true. That is so true. We'll rattle off the name of some guy that leads some studio, and any normal person will be like, "What?"
Yeah, exactly. Like, what are they talking about? Who? Like, you know, like
the CEO of Apple Jacks.
Yeah. I'm just saying, dog. Like,
I always say that, like the chat, like the people who are watching the show and the audience, like they care, like they know who the CEO of the Apple Jacks is, right? So we appreciate the audience too. They played such a big part in us having channels and podcasts because they care about this stuff as much as we do. So
they do. Yeah. I had somebody say, "Why you blocked me on Twitter?" I think on GAAS's video yesterday, and I went and unblocked him. I'm like, "Oh, my bad." You know, I know I'll be blocking people sometimes. I'll be in that mood, but I'll unblock you if you have a problem. You know, I'm not here I don't take nothing personal. So,
no, you don't. You take it on the chin.
I know Coke gotta go wash dishes before he get in trouble.
And my battery's about to die, as you can see. So we were going to wrap it up. Asa, so outro time has a battery perfectly.
Yeah, I want you to get yours in before, because your battery's going to go and you want to plug your little channel and stuff. But mine is Gaming Arcadia. It is very different to GAAS's channel. So we've got our component parts where GAAS is very console warrior and embraces that fully, and now he's trying to antagonize everybody all at once, which is entertaining for everyone. My channel is very, very different to that. It's much more calm, much more chill, but lots and lots of game stuff, lots and lots of podcasts. So Gaming Arcadia, if you can get there, please do. GAAS, plug your channel before your camera dies.
Yeah, my camera's about to die. It's the Septic Source. Check it out. All my source videos. One thing I have to say is, don't take it personally. Like I put it on Twitter. This is my way of flexing my creative muscles. It really is. There's very few people I dislike in the space. And people who handle it, King David took it like a champ, and so to see Money Doodle, everyone. Colt, he just laughed it off. Fonz didn't on his behalf, but Colt did. And look, there's just jokes. I made fun of myself in that video. Literally me singing, "Oh, hey, Phil Spencer, the Matrix thing. What does that mean?" Enjoy it. I'm trying not to be directively vindictive. Like in the past, I've had gunned people quite rawly. So the gaming channel is going to be, just join it. Septic Source, Discord is going to be popping. I'm going to do more gaming content. Finally streaming tomorrow. Sekiro is going to get completed. I can't wait to do that. So please check it out. And thank you, Isla, for linking everyone's stuff in the chat as well.
Don't link shit, bro. No, they better find me. Do not link. I'm gonna call you, bro.
Late. Your stuff is already linked. As you were talking, Isla had already linked it, so it's too late.
I'm gonna take a plane. I ain't Jack Move. I'll come through. Don't
Jack Move.
No. They need to work to find me. I'll need them to work to find me.
They will find you. They definitely will. And shout out to everyone in chat. Please hit the like button on the way out. Thank you so much again for your support, and we'll see you next week. Take care. Peace. Bye.
scream 'cause I couldn't